Ciao, Bella. Ciao, chat. How are you doing? Welcome back to me and you. Hello, everyone. It's me, Christine, again. I have returned from across the ocean, from across the pond. No, that's what they say in Britain, I think. Wrong accent. How is everyone? Ciao, everyone. Yes, si. I am simply Italiano. It's true. Simply went to Italy. Crazy, I know. We're gonna recap it all, but it's good to be back. She's a little tired. You can probably hear it in my voice. Can you hear it? Can you hear? I'm just becoming Italian. It's because I've been practicing, you know? So now I just sound better. Or worse now that I'm back here and home. I don't know. Welcome on in. It's Wednesday. What? I mean, I know it's Wednesday because I stream on Wednesday, so it must be Wednesday. But what time zone am I in? It's gonna be one of those nights or days. What time is it in Italy right now? Let me remind myself of what I think it is in my mind. So it is, oh, it's 11 p.m. in the time zone I just lived in for the past 9 days, which explains why I'm tired, I guess. But it's 5 p.m. in the time zone that I'm actually in. What time is it where you are? Where are you? Where am I? Jet lag? I don't know if it's jet lag. It's just like more of a I don't know where I am, what it is, but I don't think I'm necessarily like, you know, totally fucked up by it. You know what I mean? I just think it's a little confusion. Simply confusing is all it is. But it has been some time. I missed 2 streams. I wasn't here last Wednesday nor on Saturday because I was in Italy. Yeah, you probably never thought you would see that happen to me. Ben got his vacation across the ocean. So yeah, welcome. It's good to be back. I have missed my house, my bed, and just everything, you know, that's cozy and constant about your home. I'm sure you can appreciate it too, but I also had a very good time. I had an exquisite time. If I could use one word to summarize our entire trip to Italy, it would be exquisite. An exquisitely exciting time. And would you like some limoncello? Chat, I brought you some limoncello. Okay, this is what I thought they drank a lot of, right? Like, even if you've never been to Italy and, like, you're very North American coded, kind of like me, Canadian girly, like, I was just always under the impression, like, oh, limoncello, like, that's all they drink in Italy, or, like, wrong. Very wrong. I think this is just what tourists think they drink. Because I was like, I, at 2 different restaurants, ordered it, and they both times they were like, no. And I didn't understand. I was like, what do you mean no? Like, they have a lot of it, but at least I was being recommended, like, no, that's not what you want. Like, so I thought it was kind of funny. Anyways, we'll go through it as we watch my Snapchat stories. I thought it was wine. No, it's a liqueur. They do drink a lot of wine, though. That is also true. Wine is, like, cheaper than bottled water, which is insane. It's also cheaper to get a bottle of wine than it is to buy a glass at least one restaurant that I went to. Okay, this Italian playlist is unhinged. What is this? This is like EDM. It's dance music. This is like when I went to the club in Milan. Okay, let me change that. There you go. Isn't it wine? No, limoncello is a liqueur. And it's pretty sweet. It's like lemons, a little sweet, a little lemony sour, but I like it. It's not super alcoholic. I've seen ones that are more like 20%, although I think this one says 33%, but this is all in Italian, so I'm not sure. You can get this, maybe not this brand, but you can get limoncello in most North American liquor stores. Like, I've had it before, but maybe it's not as good as, you know, what it is, what you can get at Source in Italy. All right, let's do a poll. Have you ever been to Italy? See, I'm gonna put yes, although you should fucking know that means yes if you ever been. No? Or yes, I lived there. Whether currently or previously. Yes, we went for curling. There you go. We did a lot of things. We did more than just watch curling. We went to... Hold on. We're gonna go through all the Snapchats, I know, but have you guys been okay? What did you do without the Shrimply Mart supermarket, you know, on Wednesday? What were you doing? Are you okay? Your mother was traveling across the world, so grab your tea. Get your water, stay hydrated. We're gonna walk through all my Snapchats. I know not everyone uses Snapchat anymore. It's not just for children, I swear. But I will show them to you. So it's just kind of a good way to recap everything, because it was like my daily vlog. I like daily vlogged what we did in Italy. My stories were 87 million pages long, I know, but it was kind of fun to show it all. So you saw everything I did from the morning to the night. But we back. So who lives in Italy? I met a few of you in Italy, so which is crazy, because like I didn't announce that I was going until I was already there, and that's what I normally do when I travel, just out of my business policy. But yeah, it was kind of surprising, like randomly stumbling upon someone who's like, oh my god, Simplytravelogical, and I'm like, yes, see. So kind of cool, you know, nails are an international passion that we share, so that was kind of fun. There was even a few people who like weren't from Italy, but they were visiting for the Olympics, and they were like, what the fuck? Like, there was someone in the airport who I think was from the Netherlands, and they clocked me in the airport. And then when we were at a pizza shop in the mountains of Italy, someone said they were from Romania and they were there for the Olympics. And then they saw me there. So just like, I've actually met a few people from all around the world who knew Simply or HOLO Taco or something. And that was so fun to be like, wow, that's kind of crazy that we're just here in a fucking mountain town in Italy. And you found me, so... yeah, good times. Let's see. Has chat ever been to Italy? 38%. Wow, 38% yes, plus 4% who have lived there. That's a lot who have like visited, traveled there. I was expecting it to be lower because it's like such a specific country. It's not like Europe, you know, what I expected that maybe to be higher. Okay, wow. Wow. That's fun. 59% have not. That was me until 9 days ago. And 3 or 4% have lived there. That's cool. So as you know, I have never been across an ocean until my trip to Italy. This seems to surprise a lot of people when I tell them that. Or when I went over and I was like, yeah, this is my first time across an ocean. And they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. I have literally never traveled across an ocean in my life. Like, I'd been to the Caribbean, which maybe crosses some sort of like parts of the ocean a little bit, but like it's all within the same, you know, block of time zones of the world. So yeah, this was my first time, you know, doing a long-term travel, I guess, across an ocean, and we went to Italy. So it was for 9 days. Was it 9 days or 10 days? It depends on how you count the time change, because there's a 6-hour difference between my usual time zone and the Italy time zone we were in. I don't think it messed me up too much. It was a little bit confusing at first, but I tried to just readjust and like check my watch and be like, okay, no, it's the time that it says it is, and then just train myself to just do what I would normally do during that time. So if it was like 7 or 8 a.m., I'm just like, nope, it's time to get up and do something. So yeah. Hello? Why is everyone saying hello? Is chat broken? Hold on, I'm gonna close you guys, open you back up. Is chat open or are you late? Chat's broken. Okay, mods are reporting chat's broken. Great. Yeah, I was wondering like what's happening. Hold on, let's see. Huh? Did this fix it? Mods, you think? Cuz now I'm seeing some mods pop up. Yeah, your last one went through. Okay, sorry chat. I did just close it out and refresh it. But is it broken on everyone's? Or is it just my public display? You know what I mean? Well, that's no fun. It's not just me. Okay, everyone's chat is broken. So if your message is not going through, just cancel YouTube. Whose event I went to in Milan also. There was a YouTube event in Italy while I was there. There just happened to be like because it was the Olympics. So I also went to like an Italian creators YouTube event. And yes, I was out of place. I didn't know anyone, but we'll get there. So yeah, F for YouTube right now. What the helly? Okay, it looks like chat is filtering some messages and I have no idea why. Because I don't have any blocks on. It's very strange. And chat seems slow, so yeah, something's wrong. Boo! I'm curious about your trip, but I have to go to sleep. What, are you in Italy and it's 11 p.m.? Okay, it's kind of working, so maybe it's coming back. I'll refresh one more time, but I don't think that's what it is. I think YouTube is just fucked. Weird, it's not filtering the word hollow. Anyways, I will continue. La la la. Anyways, yeah, come hang out. We're gonna talk about my trip, and I got some Snapchats to show you. Okay, if you go to Snapchat, Simplytravelogical, I've now saved some of the Italy stories on my public profile. They normally disappear, but I saved them temporarily, at least so I could walk through on stream. But then I won't necessarily leave them there. We'll see. Hold on a second. Refresh number 2. Okay, I'll try refreshing chat one more time. Yeah, chat is broken. Here, I'm gonna refresh my whole YouTube page. Please hold. Sorry, if you're just coming in now, YouTube seems to be filtering a lot of chat messages and no one knows why. I don't have any different settings on. It didn't filter this one. What kind of messages are being filtered? I don't know. Just random normal ones, it seems like. It's weird. The mods are talking in our mod chat too. Like, there's nothing in particular, right? It's not like you guys are all saying, like, boo or something, and they're all being filtered. They're not filtering shrimps or chows or hollows. But yeah, I don't think there's a pattern. I just think it seems like... Oh, some mods can only use emojis? Oh, well, that's fucking weird. Okay, alright, just use emojis in chat. Some of you are allowed to use emojis, some of you are allowed to use words. Maybe it's blocking everything that's English and you have to speak Italian. If you can only use emojis and it's blocking you, put a bunch of emojis in chat right now and we'll know. If you can't, if anytime you tried to type words, you didn't see it in chat, just put emojis and see if emojis work. Here, let's see. If all of a sudden we see a ton of emojis, then there's our answer. Fuck. I don't know. Why are so many words being blocked then? Like, I don't have anything on or anything different. That's fucking weird. I don't know, Ben, if you're paying attention, if you have any idea. Anyways, you can express your excitement in emojis, apparently. It's not on emoji-only mode or anything. Some words are coming. Yes, we're gonna have a pictorial chat for today. So don't forget to comment these terrifying YouTube emojis. Alright, my trip to Italy. Let's go. Part 1. Guess where we're going. This is before I told you. That's me and Ben on the plane. Ben is so happy. Not Canada, that's where we're coming from, and that's the sweater he's wearing. Brought Ben and my bestie with me, and we're drinking red wine. This is before takeoff at the airport. Red wine in a Canadian airport as a reference category, so you know we're in Canada now. You could see our passports and our red and white nails. Where could we be going? Just a picture of me in the airport, not the airport bathroom. This is the airplane. The airplane bathroom. On the plane, the amount of wine they poured me was wild. Like, look, this is wine. Copious amounts of wine were poured, and I didn't even ask for that. I was just like, red wine to get into the spirit, and is it Italian? And they were like, yes. And then they gave me a full glass, and I was like, that's a big fucking glass. Yes, I had already had 3 sips, so it didn't spill because, you know, airplane. Is Europe a country? Oh, we're going to Europe. Tag yourself. Where are you? All right, then we got on to flight number 2. Yes, we had to take 2 flights to go from Canada to eventually Milan. That's the first place we landed in Italy. The flight path was actually Montreal to Brussels and then Milan. So we drove to Montreal first, which took 2 hours. And then I think it was a 6 or 7 hour flight to Brussels. And then it was a 1.5 hour flight from Brussels to Milan. So there was no like single flight option, obviously, when you're coming from that far. Landing. I'm playing without sound. It's mostly just like Italian music that I chose that's probably not royalty free. But yeah, I love watching out of the plane, and then I try and record it, and it's really hard to stay like stable. I hope you guys appreciate how stable I am when I'm trying to get the shots of landing outside of airplanes. Okay, do I look Italian yet? I took so many pictures of me in different Italian washrooms. I think like maybe tomorrow I'm just gonna do an Instagram post or maybe a TikTok post of just me in different Italian washrooms because they're fucking beautiful. What is this? So many Italian washrooms I went to in like different restaurants are just absolutely gorgeous. Like the tile work, the mirrors, the sinks, just beautiful. The style, the finishes, I love them all. Now I know there's a variety, like not all washrooms are gorgeous. I understand, but I'm just saying, if I go to like 10 nice restaurants in Ottawa and 10 nice restaurants in Milan, the ones in Milan are way fucking nicer, you know what I mean? Just top-notch tile work that I just appreciated so much. All right, yeah, we love the toilets. We're in Milan, Italy, about to go on a little Italian adventure and then cheer on Canada at the Olympics. So we started in Milan, which is like fashion capital, so much to see, so much to do. We were only there for 2 full days. That's it. So we didn't do like probably a lot of things that chat would ask me if you could, except YouTube is blocking all words for some reason today and you can only comment emojis. I don't know why. I guess it's happening across YouTube. Actually, mods, one thing you could do is see if it's happening on like other streams. Like if you just open a random one and notice that that's happening too, then maybe we know it's not just me. Because if it's something that I'm doing, like I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, if you can't chat, if it's just not showing up, it's because YouTube's doing something weird. It's not me. Thank you, Laurel. Menchie gang, cat hair going down the drain. All right, so started in Milan with Ben and Basti, and this is the Duomo, very famous castle-like thing. Now, I'm gonna just say it right now, okay? Simply is not a historian. I'm just not. Like, I'm just not good at retaining information like that. I don't mind going to beautiful sites and seeing them, taking pictures, and being like, oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's cool. But I'm also not someone who could, for example, go to an art gallery for 6 hours and just, like, take it in. I'm like, oh, I would love to go for 10 minutes. Maybe longer. Maybe, like, 20 minutes. And it takes me, like, just a few seconds to look at something and be like, cool. Cool. Cool, what's next? That's just me. Maybe it's an attention span thing. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know, don't have the same extended education in history that some people have, and so they just would love to spend way longer. But I'm just more of a, let's go! Yes, got it, let's go. Okay, next. So, this isn't the stream to give you a history on things I saw in Italy. It's just, hey, look at some cool pictures of me after I crossed the fucking ocean. And yeah, this is where we went. All right, some apparently member chats are also not working, so that's great news. Thank you, YouTube. Anyways, what a cool pic of me and Ben. Ben is so happy. My nails and the Duomo di Milano. So I also learned that if you call Milan, Milan, that means you're a tourist, because locals call it Milano with an O. Like my shirt. Milano, not Milan. Me repping my Canada nails. We'll get there, but so the Olympics were on in Milan. but they were also in Cortina, which is hence the sweater I'm wearing, which is like more of the mountain town. So it depended on the sport, right? We're talking about like the Winter Olympics, you know, like where there's games and all the countries compete, in case you live under a rock. But some of them were in Milan, like the major city, and then some were in Cortina, just kind of depending on the nature of the sport. So if it was like skiing and shit that involves like mountains, then it was in Cortina, which is more of a mountain town. But if it was like hockey and in that kind of a rink situation, then it was in Milan. So it was spread across, and there was a couple other parts as well that I'm just not mentioning, but it was spread in different parts of Italy. It wasn't like all sports in the same spot, just to be clear. So that's why there was some travel that we did, so we could see a couple things. Milano, yes. See. Anyways, this building is fucking crazy. Like, the amount of detail is crazy. We went on a tour of the Duomo, and it said you had to dress appropriately. And you probably can't read that, but it is basically implying, like, women don't be hoe. No hoe in Milano. No. Which was fine, because, like, it was freezing out. So, yeah, I was wearing a sweater anyways. Actually, it wasn't that cold. I'm exaggerating. In Canada, it's in Ottawa, it's currently, like, 20 degrees colder, probably, than in Milan. The weather felt like spring to me, a Canadian, in February. So I thought it was quite nice. It was mild in Milan. It was colder in Cortina because it's the mountains, so obviously, and there was snow there. But I thought it was funny. No hoe, exactly. No hoe in the Duomo. They let me in, question mark? Very beautiful. But first, Ben must shove one of these down because then they told him you can't bring food into church. So he bought one of these like Italian puff cream pastries and then just scarfed it down. And I think we do have some audio on this. Just give me a second. I'll pause the music and turn him up for the Ben's review.
It's Italian cream puff.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Oh, there's stuff inside.
Let me see. Oh. Hold it. Ooh. There's like, is that chocolate pasta inside?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh yeah, at the Brussels airport, there was a tub of, maybe it was like a Nutella, but it was just like chocolate paste. Looked like chocolate peanut butter. And the label on it said chocolate pasta. Which I know doesn't actually mean pasta. Like, I'm being silly. I know it's not pasta. But since we saw it, because it's like probably in a language that I don't speak, right? Probably means something else. Like paste. But ever since we saw that, I was like, chocolate pasta! See? It's a thing, just like chocolate eggs. So I'd say it to Ben or my friend. And that's why I was like, oh, is it chocolate pasta inside? Okay, we'll continue. What's the cream filling?
The cream is really good, but I don't know what the filling is.
Is that a hamburger bun?
It looks like a hamburger.
Get in on it.
Here you go, chat.
Do you want?
What's your rating? Wait a second.
You gotta rate it.
Okay, people in other languages it works to speak, but not in English? Shut the fuck up. What is happening on YouTube? Okay, vous avez mon permission de parler en français parce que je comprends. But I don't want people speaking a bunch of languages that no one understands, just for moderation reasons. Mais qu'est-ce qui se passe? Like, qu'est-ce que fuck? YouTube c'est brisé, it's broken. Like, right? Now there's way more people, like, it's working. Literally English is not allowed. What? That is crazy. Wow. Yeah, YouTube said no English. What? Did the stream flag me for like, oh, this is an Italian creator stream, so no English or something? Like, ma messagerie ne fonctionne pas. Yeah, je me demande si... Yeah, this one works. Vive Italia, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Like, I don't even know what setting this would be. Maybe they just banned Americans? Je sais pas. All right, okay. I'm going to try my best to continue without derailing here. I hope it just kind of like recorrects itself. I will occasionally refresh the chat. I just did. But this could just correct itself over time. Mon Dieu, right?
Canada man.
Anyways, normally we don't allow people speaking other languages in chat, mostly just for moderation reasons, because it's not fair to mods to know, you know, what you're saying. Is it appropriate? So I'm not trying to invite that. But, you know, generally speaking, I think some of you regulars, we could trust you. Okay, so behave. But it does seem like YouTube is only letting things that aren't English come through in the chat.
What's your rating?
Oh. Do I have stuff on my face?
Everywhere.
All right. Ben ate his
Out of 10.
first
It's really
Italian
Really good out of 10.
delicious.
9 out of 10.
I still don't know what it's called. It seemed like a
Not
puff.
everything needs to be a
like a
number. That's a very American. We're in Italy. Things are just good. We're relaxed. We're not rating things. We're just enjoying life.
We just have cream up our nose.
That's where it belongs.
Snort it. Do it again.
All right. On continue. Beautiful. The sun was out. It was gorgeous. I hadn't seen sunlight in months, and now I'm literally like on a church or something between a rock and a hard place. Praise be. Exquisite. The detail on this building was absolutely beautiful. Like, it's, you cannot appreciate it, you know, from this picture I took, which doesn't even really show. But there's so much intricacy, it's like nail art. But on rocks, and a lot of them. So I told Ben to take 0.5 pictures, but he took videos instead, hence all this. So yeah, Simply in Italy, that's a good, that's a movie poster right there. Guess what Holo Taco shades I'm wearing? Some of you answered, some of you were correct. Then I went to church. Or I went to the inside of the Duomo. There's a part of it that has like stained glass and other stuff that I assume you normally see in churches. I'm just gonna mute it, but I picked a lot of whatever Italian music was available on Snapchat. Walking through the Galleria Vittoria Emanuele II, which is a very popular thing that you might recognize even if you've never been there, because it has a ceiling that looks like this, and it's really big, and like people spin in the middle and do really cool fashion pictures, and then there's this little like bowls. There's a bowl in the ground. I didn't know this. Ben knew this and then started doing this, and I was like, what are you trying to do? I didn't understand. But apparently there's a bowl where if you put your heel on his testicles and you spin around 3 times, you get good luck. So Ben was waiting for like 10 different children to finish because the children kept like butting in line. and Ben let them go. To spin on this fucking testicle. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Because like I didn't know this. So I was like, why are you waiting in line? What are you doing? And he's like, just wait. I was like, why do you want to spin like all these children are spinning? And I didn't really notice like what they were actually spinning on until later. I was like, what the fuck? So you learn something new every day. Anyways, Ben did eventually look at him, getting in there. He's like, yeah, get out of there, little girl. It's my turn now. I want good luck. I want the bull's testicles. Excusez-moi? Exactly. He's gonna win at the Olympics. Yes. Ben is he's gonna win. We went to the Prada store. They asked if I needed help. It was probably like, do you need help to find the exit, ma'am? Everything in there was great. Like, the store was beautiful. This is the main Prada in that, like, kind of mall that you just saw with the crazy ceilings. And the store is beautiful. Like, the display and everything. The chairs were, a bunch of men were sitting down, drinking a beverage. There's also no price tags on anything. You have to ask, which was kind of annoying because I just wanted to know, like, how much is this? But I think this one was like, I don't know if it said, there was one thing where, like, we tried to find the price tag, but it was, like, hidden. And it was either $72,000 or $12,000. We weren't sure because I know this from, like, French immersion, but the set has, like, a little bar in the middle of it in French, like if you're writing a number in French. And I thought maybe that's what they do in Europe too, like they write sevens with a bar. But in English speaking math, for example, you wouldn't learn sevens with a little line through the middle. I don't know why, but it was always sevens with a line in French immersion, but when I was just in English math, it didn't. So I just, like, assumed that was a European thing, or it could possibly be a European thing. So I was like, fuck, if it is a European thing, then it's $72,000. If it's not, and it's actually just a 1, then it's $12,000. I don't know which one. As-tu acheté quelque chose de cher? Not that! But someone replied to this story and said, oh my god, it's the, fuck, what did they call it? Oh, I can't remember. But they knew this type of bag. Like, it was like a something white crocodile, or, I don't know. And it's like a really fancy one, apparently. Maybe you know it. I definitely did not. I just thought it matched my white coat, so I took a picture of it. Okay, I think chat has realized another trick. If you just type with accents, it's letting it come through, which is fucking insane. Look, this can be a trick to speak. Yeah, there you go. If you have to ask for price, it's very expensive. The entire store, you have to ask. Can I just yell? Maybe that went through. You're literally hacking me. Thank you guys for figuring out how to hack this. Yeah, I was so sad. I'm like, why is no one talking in chat? I know you guys have so much to say, but like, now how much was it? I don't know. If it was 72 or 12, I didn't ask. I don't want to ask. Oh, the Himalayan. Yes, I think this is the Prada Himalayan. Why don't we just look that up and I'll Prada. I just thought it matched my jacket. Himalayan purse. Let's see if you're correct. Yes, you are. Yep. It's the Himalayan crocodile bag, which I guess is like fucking a big deal. Cost. Well, there was different sizes of it, so I don't know. That's not it. Shopping. Look, you can't even buy it online. These are just the plain ones. What? Is it white Himalayan? That's not even it. They don't want to tell you. It's literally, you can't find it. It's probably the 12,000. I don't know. There was a big, like, duffel bag one, too. Anyway. Oh, it kind of looks like the Hermes one. Who copied who? 60,000 AEDs? I don't know. Anyways, it's expensive. So I didn't buy it. No, I did not buy the bag, you silly gooses. I did buy a couple things that you'll see here. I'm also wearing them on my head. but I didn't end up buying any purses. I just didn't like it enough. Like, I thought about it. I was like, is there anything that I actually love? And then there was one kind of burgundy velvet bag that I thought was nice and matched like my hair and my, I don't know, recent, like, I like red and burgundy now. But it was, I think it was like $3,000. It was like a small Prada bag. And I was like, no. Maybe if I was like at the outlet store and I found it for half, like I might consider it. But later we did go to the outlet store and everything there was kind of just boring and bland. And like, I don't really care about just a plain black bag. Like, why? But I would have gotten something if it was like unique and I thought it had an interesting texture or color. But I just like didn't really find anything that wasn't stupid. So I didn't end up getting any bags. I got this merch though. This was expensive. I think this was like 95 euros. Okay, continuing with Milan day 1. Cannolis, Campari, Aperol Spritz, everywhere you go. When you drink an Italian espresso martini, you get energia. I love the main streets. They all have these like light up signs with like different words. Like one of them said like creativa, like creativity, and some other just like keywords that appear like they're floating when it's dark. It wasn't quite dark yet for this picture, but I just thought it was like such a nice touch. The lighting in Milan too, like when you walk on the like fancy parts of town or whatever, they have a lot of furniture stores or bars or cafes or nice restaurants, and the lighting there is like, it's all very recessed. It's like tucked in, it's linear, it's smooth. And I just find that kind of modern style just so beautiful. It just looks like everything was constructed with thought and intention. And even when the buildings were like kind of older and, you know, more historical, some of the lighting touches were like thoughtfully tucked in and really illuminated spaces quite nicely. And I just find that that's one architectural difference than the obvious architectural differences of historical buildings. But the lighting and the way they incorporate it and the thought they put into it is just so different than what I've noticed in like, I don't know, major cities in Canada. Like, it's kind of sloppy. They're just like, oh, we're just going to add a light, put a lamppost here. Okay, whatever. There's like not really thought of how to integrate the light into the architecture to accentuate it. And I appreciated that at least about some of the main streets in Milan. I was like, okay, that's fucking, you thought about that one. So they care about lighting. Look at this. Look at this, how pretty this is. Just a little touch. We just noticed there was like a hotel or something that said Milan. Even this said Milano Cortina 2026, right? That's for the Olympics. And when it was dark, it would just glow and it looked like it was floating in the middle of the road. So, and that's just like a pop-up for the Olympics. Armani store, people skiing, a lot of reference to the Olympics, obviously. This is where we had our first meal in Italy at Veramonte. And Ben, of course, did all the research and picked out some restaurants based on reviews. He looked at stuff before we left. I wonder if having the character in your title is yeah, I think that's what it is. Because that worked. Just type with periods instead of spaces. Does that work? And everyone using accents seems to work as well. You found the accented font generator? Yeah. Slay Ben snuck through. Does this work? Yes, it does. Using periods instead of space. YouTube literally banned spaces. Well, not all spaces. I don't know, man. Armani designed the Italian uniforms, right? Yeah. Lululemon designed Canada's. All right, continuing with our first meal. Welcome. Really good, really happy, really Italian. This is our idea of cuisine. I assume they had it in English because they know how many tourists come. That was our first meal, my first espresso martini, and Simply is not a coffee drinker. You know this, right? I am a tea drinker. However, when it's cocktail night, I simply enjoy an espresso martini, even though I hate coffee. It's so weird. I guess I just like Kahlua, or coffee liqueur, or vodka, because that's the other ingredients in coffee. But I definitely don't want an espresso by itself. But the espresso in Italy was unhinged. After our first night there, I had an espresso martini, and I was like, this is absolutely insane. Like, the espresso martinis I've had in North America are absolute trash. What the fuck is this? Like, the taste of it is amazing. And I don't even really like the taste of coffee. Like, when I smell coffee, I'm not someone who's like, oh my God, yes, coffee. Like, no, whatever. But when I tasted it in this espresso martini, it was so good. Where was this? This was Veramonte. Ristorante Veramonte in Milan. This place. But I had an espresso martini every single day, maybe with the exception of like 2 days of our 9-day trip. Because after the first one, I was like, this is fucking crazy. Are they all like this? And yes, every single espresso martini I had in Italy was insane. It tasted 10 times better than anything I've had in my life here. And I guess it's because of the espresso. The quality of the bean or the way it's brewed, like, I don't know. But Europe and Italy, like, you guys know, right? If you've been or you live there. Italy is like espresso city. And North America serves fucking Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Well, that's just in the States. But, like, it's not good. No one thinks that's good. So, yeah, much better. You need an espresso machine? We have one. It's not that. It's the beans or something. All right, phone eats first. Here's what we had. I had some type of fish. Bestie had chicken. I'm trying to remember because this was a while ago. And Ben had, this was a traditional dish that was like veal, like breaded veal for Ben. We also got, here I copied this from the menu. Battered courgette flowers with whipped ricotta, black olives, and basil oil. This was insane. It was like, it reminded me of like a deep fried zucchini. But it was a courgette flower, which I don't know what that is, to be honest. But it tasted good. Oh, not on the main menu, so I didn't have all the words. But this was a black truffle pasta. Oh, we had so much black truffle. Like, at least one person ordered it almost every night. And you could just smell it. Like, they'd bring it out and oh, the black truffle. And I like black truffles. I think, like, Ben finds it a bit strong sometimes, but no. Like, I could eat, just give me the piece of truffle and I'll put it in my mouth. Delicious. Courgette is zucchini? Oh, well. There you go. Fish fillet of the day. This is what it simply got with Mediterranean sauce. So it was a sea bass and done like traditional style. I was like, give me your traditional fish. And it was really good. Had cherry tomatoes. All the tomatoes definitely tasted better than what I've had in Canada. And it's not even really in season, right? Because it's like winter there. There's Ben's, which, here, I wrote it here. It's a little hidden, but Italian veal cutlet, Milanese style with rocket and cherry tomatoes. What's a rocket tomato? I don't know. I copied that straight from their menu. There's us on our first meal in Milan. Hold on, I'm gonna go back and turn on for whatever they're saying here. Morning.
It's gonna be a heavy pour.
Wow, water and wine. Is Jesus in the room?
I think so.
What? So we enjoyed, I think that we started with white wine because at least I was having fish because we knew we were going to do red later. If not this night, another night. And of course, tiramisu. And this one had a big V on it. This is a traditional looking tiramisu, right? Like that's not how they normally look. I think this restaurant had like their own take on it. And it was much darker and more espresso soaked than at least what Ben was used to, because he commented that like this was an traditional tiramisu, but he thought it was really delicious. And I mean, I'm not a connoisseur of them, so I don't know. I like they're all good to me, but he thought it was a unique one. All right, next up, going here. So right across from the Duomo, which is where we were earlier, was this building, which was an art gallery by day. But at night, this space right at the top was actually rented out by YouTube. Like YouTube creators was hosting an event for creators who happened to be going to Milan for the Olympics, or not necessarily for the Olympics, but they did it during the Olympics, figuring more people would be there, I assume. And I got like a random notification on my YouTube like studio like a few weeks ago, like, hey, are you gonna be in Milan between this date and this date? We're hosting an event. Let us know if you would like to RSVP. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I actually am gonna be right there. And I had never said anything or mentioned this. So that was just kind of a crazy coincidence that YouTube was hosting a YouTuber event while I was gonna be there. So I was like, okay, I'll come. And it was right there, which was crazy. So this square was super packed with people. And then we look up and we're like, oh my God, we're gonna go right there. So that's up next. Hold on, I'm gonna switch chat to live chat and maybe this will change something. I don't think so. All right, so went to a YouTube event hosted by YouTube Creator Collective, Italy edition. It was in an art gallery, so before you got to the event, there was like all these cool art installations. And then in the room, they had a bunch of music going on. They had a DJ. They had people taking pictures, a big YouTube logo you could, you know, take a picture with, obviously, so you could post exactly this. And then they had a screen where they featured all the creators who either were attending or were within the region, I'm not sure. And I was on the fucking screen beside a bunch of like Italian YouTube creators. I don't know why they chose this clip. That's like me in the advent calendar. Like, look, just me and a bunch of Italian creators on screen. I was like waiting for mine to pop up. This is just so like strange, I guess. I'm just like, what? But kind of funny. So I didn't know anyone there. Most people were speaking Italian. I'm pretty sure they did not know who I was either. One girl came up to me and clearly like an English speaker and was like, oh my God, Simplytravelogical. Yeah, I love your stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I believe she said she actually worked for YouTube out of LA. So that made sense why she knew who I was. But otherwise, I was just kind of like in a room with Italian creators. But it was kind of fun. Just a different thing. And the space was very cool. But yeah, there you go. There's me unboxing the Holo Taco Advent Calendar for some reason. And look how cool that view is. Like, isn't that kind of crazy? That's where we were earlier in the day, the Duomo. And we were right upstairs in an art gallery looking right at it at night at the YouTube event. I flip my hair back and forth. What a shot. YouTube and the Duomo. There you go. I'm an Italian YouTuber now. They also had this, which was so Canadian. We're playing hockey. Guess who won? It was Ben. Just a girly who decided to put her nails on YouTube in 2014. Right. So 10 years ago, and now I'm in Italy at a YouTube event. Comment tu sens on ne comprend pas ce que les personnes parlent? How did I feel not knowing what anyone was saying? It was fine. Like, you kind of tell by the vibes that everyone was having a good time, and I was just like, okay. I think I kind of looked like obviously Canadian, or at least North American. It also, I was wearing red and had like Canada nails. I don't know if anyone else noticed that there, but you know, if you're going for the Olympics, it's kind of more normal to just wear whatever country's colors that you're representing in a way. So like there was a little bit of that for people who might have been traveling. Like I did notice like a couple American creators, not many, but like just a few there. So like you can kind of tell. So I wonder if the local Italian YouTube creators like was like, obviously that's a Canadian girl. But I don't know. Like I was just like, hi, I don't know. We didn't stay for that long, but yeah, here's an example of like one of the things they were doing. So it says, Bienvenuti de la gelateria dei creator. So 2 gelato creators who were Italian. And they were making gelato there, which is kind of cool. That's them. Italian gelato YouTubers, what a life. And they had like a little stand where you could get gelato. I did meet a guy, told me to subscribe to Bentendo then. He spoke English. King Ben says hockey game next, we rally. So we were already exhausted. Like we're still on the same day, guys. But the night's not over because after dinner, after the YouTube event, we went to the women's Olympic hockey game like at the big stadium that they built in Milan just for the Olympics. Where Canada was playing Switzerland. So that's us at one of the women's hockey games, and that's where you could really see that this was the first Olympic event we attended. You could really see people wearing, you know, their countries, wearing their countries. Let's go, ladies! So much, there was so much Canada. Yeah. It's kind of crazy, like, how many Canadians traveled to Italy just to watch the Olympics. Like, I mean, I guess I did too, but it's not cheap to go across the world, right? To cheer on your country for something like the Olympics. Like we did a bit more than that, and it's a little bit different for us, obviously. But just like seeing how many people went and filled the stands was like kind of crazy. I was like, wow, like, because it's not easy to just like snap your fingers and go across the world, right? It's different if the Olympics were hosted near you, then yeah, you would expect to see a bunch of people from your country there. Like there was obviously a lot of Italians, especially attending games where Italy was playing or something, if it was like a hockey game or whatever. But yeah, so many, I noticed like a ton of Canadians. And Canada's not that big. I kind of think there's like more Canadians than Americans. That's probably just wrong, but anyways, Canada did win this particular game. This was a bit earlier in the Olympic stuff. Woo! Congrats, Team Canada. All right, I think, okay, now let's move to Milan part 2. All right, day 2 in Milan, the last day in Milan. We only spent 2 days there. Good morning, let's check out the Italian hotel. Everything was in kilograms, which I don't speak because for whatever reason in Canada, pounds, like the weights being in pounds, is just what I've learned and all I know. So that's kind of crazy. I was like, 10 pounds, why is it so big? And then it's kilograms. So I had no idea. I was like, fuck, I don't know how much that is. I think it's actually like 30 something pounds. Anyways, just a Canadian trying to figure it out. That's Italian disco music. Doing a quick little Italian functional lower body routine before the day. This was the only day in the entire 9-day trip that I went to the gym, because you'll see on our subsequent days that I became a mountain goat hiking mountains in Cortina, so absolutely did not need the gym. Legs were already destroyed. But while we were still in Milan, I went to our hotel's gym, which was kind of nice. It had moody lighting, like all the lighting that it was in Milan, absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, maybe someone will mistake me for an Olympic athlete, because I was wearing Team Canada leggings. I bought them from Lululemon. Side cable abduction, si grande, e forte this morning. Dumbbella, sumo squatta, who wants some pasta? Gluta, kickbacky. I'm just making words up. I know that's not actually the real Italian. All right, workout finito. Let's go. Next up, seeing an Italian art gallery, which Ben described would have a lot of pictures of babies and Jesus stuff. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll come. I'll see what it's like. But they also had like a fashion installation there, which surprised me, because I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I found myself, to be honest, just more interested in the like fashion stuff than the photos. Do you think this baby's 40 pounds though? One thing I did notice about the art, at least in this gallery, was there's a lot of babies. There's a lot of babies. Italians really like the baby. Look at all these babies doing talented things, playing guitar, playing banjos, standing up straight, looking like they're having a full like board meeting conversation, like conducting business. Lots of intelligent babies over there. So many talented babies. Fashion Slay, Canada Red. So see, amongst the art, they had all these like mannequins wearing fashionable things. And there was like little descriptions about where it was from. Look at this picture with he has like a knife on his head. I don't know the names of any of this artwork, so maybe you do. But look at this outfit, slay. Like, absolutely stunning. And then the little card beside it would say, like, where it was from. Like, winter 1993 with a little explanation. Ooh, look at this. Little risque one. I like this one. I also found Sophia's wedding dress. Like, look how beautiful this is. It's like a black sequin gown with a black veil. Loved it. If she ever gets married again, I got the dress for her. It's probably not for sale, but here's some of the fashion in motion. Like, also, look at this holographic dress, okay? Is it real? Hollow? Wow. There's an example of the little cards. So that one said fall winter 1984. Long column dress with round neckline, padded shoulders, long sleeve, and a slit on the left side. They missed saying it's holographic. Made of lurex fabric, entirely covered with heat set rhinestones, arranged in a neat pattern. Someone tell them! Who's gonna tell them? The ensemble includes clip-on earrings with small oval pendants in a black-trimmed faux crystal. The dress appeared in the 1995 editorial Marlene, photographed by Peter Lindbergh and featuring Amber Valletta. Oh, I know that supermodel. Marking the brand's 20th anniversary. So some iconic fashion pieces, which maybe if you're like a super fashionista or whatever, like you would know a little bit more about the meaning behind this or the value. Like, I don't know, like how much is this dress? I guess you can't buy it. That's why it's in a museum. But absolutely stunning and interesting to find out like who wore it and when. Ben really wanted to see this piece, which is why we went to this art gallery in the first place. And it's a picture of people kissing. He really wanted to get... They do be kissing. Look at them kissing. Woo! There was also, like, I think a school trip happening that I swear it looked like a bunch of children in grade 8 or something. Just like, standing behind this, watching the kiss. Nice, yeah. You love this painting? A lot of people do, it seems. I do wonder what Ben is going to do with this selfie of him with the people kissing. So if you find out, run. There's lots of trams and little trolleys in Milan. And it's very cobblestoney. And a lot of people everywhere. All right, next up, we going shopping. Yes, we're still on day 2. House of Menchi. Every bathroom in Italy is beautiful. Yeah, I know not every bathroom, but whatever. Proportionally, compared to my experience going in public washrooms in North America, Italy has disproportionately better looking bathrooms. Like look at this underlighting behind the mirror, and look at the fluting of the tile work behind. This is just a public restroom in an outlet mall 1 hour outside of Milan. It was called the Seravelli, I think, the Seravelli outlet malls, and apparently it's a very popular spot for people to go shop designer brands at like a discount price. It's like an outlet mall, like Florida has a lot of them. I used to go to them when my grandmother lived in Florida. Same kind of idea, but just like in Italy. So we went thinking like maybe there I might find something I like and not think it's insane to spend money. But anyways, I was intrigued by the bathrooms. I was like, this is such a pretty nice fucking public washroom. All right. It has like buttons in the mirror too that glow. Like what? What year are they living in? All right, no one is allowed in this store, or not many, or not me. It's called Billionaire. I know I didn't go in. Had some Aperol spritzes, which is the drink of Italy for sure. Even when we walked around some sections where like there was more locals, I got the impression that Aperol spritzes was like actually what people drink at like lunchtime or whenever, which is basically just like a light-ish juice-like alcoholic beverage that has Aperol spritz, or sorry, Aperol, not the spritz part, which is like an orange kind of liqueur mixed with Prosecco, which is kind of like a sparkly white wine that's sweeter if I'm oversimplifying it. Sparkling water sparkling water to make it a spritz, and then usually there's like a slice of orange, maybe it's a blood orange, and people just like they're everywhere you look, someone's having an Aperol spritz. So tried those. I really like them. I like the taste of orange and citrus, and the oranges there are so good, like especially the blood oranges. Oh my god, I have a picture of my orange juice. It was basically red at later on in the trip. So good. That sounds delicious. It is delicious. I don't think I've ever had an Aperol spritz in my life. We have Aperol. Like here, I'll just show you what it is. Aperol. Like it's this. Like I can buy this in Canada, but I just never have, I guess. But it's very, very good. And then I think the difference is like if you're mixing it with Prosecco that we get here that's just like maybe not a special Italian one, it probably tastes worse. So it probably just tastes shittier here. And also our oranges taste like shit. Our oranges, our limes, our lemons are garbage compared to where they come from. All right. Prada. Took a picture outside the Prada store. So the only things that I bought, so I did buy a few things from the designer outlet. So see this red jacket? I got that, but not designer. It's from I can't pronounce it. Desigual, which I believe is actually a Spanish brand, and it's not high fashion luxury. It's like way more reasonable. I think that jacket was like 90 something euros. So, but I liked it. I was like, this is a very Milan jacket. It's like a fake red pleather jacket, and I'm like, perfect for our evening out. And I don't mind the price. Beautiful. So I did buy a few items from this Desigual brand, which is, I recently got an ad for them and had bought that sweater that I wore on the our Magnetic Attraction launch. So I was sort of familiar with the brand, but no, it's not like a, you know, exclusive Italian brand or anything. But I also bought Prada sunglasses and Gucci sunglasses, but I didn't buy them from Prada or Gucci. Let me explain. So at the outlet stores, there was like a Prada and a Gucci, right? I went in and I looked at their sunglasses just out of curiosity, and I didn't really like them. And also they were more expensive than I thought they would be for an outlet mall, because I had just been to the real Prada store, like in the Milano core, right? And I noticed like the sunglasses there, and I was like, I'm not even fucking looking at the price. If I think you'd have to ask anyways. But like those would have been the most expensive, right? Because that's from the real Prada store. This would be the presumably less expensive because it's their outlet mall, which usually means it's not the current stuff. Maybe it's last year's, or maybe it's just like not the most wanted stuff, right? But I didn't like anything they had. I'm like, I don't really, it's all kind of basic. So yeah, didn't like it. But then I went to Sunglass Hut, which is like a retailer that we have here too. But Sunglass Hut in Italy, in an outlet mall, is gonna have more options for Italian brands, you would think. So that's where I ended up finding Prada sunglasses and these Gucci ones that I got for a 2-for-1 deal. So that's me. What do you think? I like the red. That's why I bought them. These ones are Gucci. I got them because I was like, you know what? Red matches my red earrings that I got for Team Canada to represent, and my red wristband that I also did for Team Canada. So I was like, you know what? It's basically Canada. It's House of Menchie, actually. See, yes. So these were on sale for still not cheap. It was like 200 euros. But that's like, I think, a third of the price of whatever the season these glasses are from. I don't know how many years old were at their peak would have been. So yes, I did buy, that's the designer stuff that Simply bought in Italy. I'm very chic. Are you tired of using red? No, I like red because my hair is kind of red. All right. It's nighttime. It's aperitivo time, which is customary in Italy. I've learned, and not just Italy, in Europe, right? Like some of you guys know because you've been there or lived there. Where like an aperitivo is where you go out for drinks and some snacks before you go for dinner. It's like the appetizer of drinking, sort of. It's appetizers, but somewhere else than when you're gonna eat dinner. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go for aperitivo. Where do we go? So we went to the Armani Hotel, which is like probably one of the most expensive places you can order a drink. Just to say we went. And this is us, I think we were just leaving our hotel. We didn't stay at the Armani Hotel, but this is, I think we were leaving our hotel. And they had this cool light installation. Again, the lighting, beautiful, so interesting. And here's me with my sparkly pants. The pants are not from Italy, they're from here. But I thought they looked kind of Milan. They're like brown with little rhinestones on them, and then that's the new fake leather red jacket that I got from Desigual at the outlet mall. And I was like, yes, I look simply Italian. Perfect. The perfect evening out to go to aperitivo. And what did we order? Espresso martinis. Again, fucking delicious. So this was at the Armani Hotel, which I'm pretty sure an espresso martini was like 30 euros. I think this was the most expensive place that I'd ordered a drink at, because I like looking at the prices on the menu to be like, see which cocktail is the most expensive. I don't know. Is this a game you guys play too? Whenever I go out for dinner, I'm always like, what's the most expensive cocktail they sell? Or what's the most expensive wine? Just for fun. And at one of the places we went, the most expensive wine was 10,000 euros. But there was probably more expensive options because it said, please ask. Which means there's more expensive. But anyways, the most expensive cocktail was at the Armani Hotel. Yeah. 30 euros in Italy. Yeah, I know. Well, it's because it's the Armani Hotel, which, like, obviously it's the designer brand name, whatever. It was fucking delicious, though, and at least it was big. One annoying thing is, like, sometimes they would serve you an espresso martini and it was, like, tiny, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, give me something to actually drink, you know? But this was huge, so you could look at it that way, too. And it was a very dark roast. That's what I remember about this one. It was, like, super dark. But they make them so well, and it's always frothy. And, yeah, I just drank 30 euros, which is... Let's just do the USD, because that's most of you. Oh, $35. Which is crazy. Or $48 Canadian? Oh my god, our dollar is so bad. Fuck. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. $50 espresso martini. Crazy. Yeah, it's Armani. They weren't all that expensive. It's just the Armani Hotel. Oh mon dieu, exactement. Qu'est-ce que fuck. Okay, but here's the other thing, which I learned, and this is not just the Armani Hotel, but anywhere, is if you go for aperitivo and you order a drink, and you don't buy any food or like snacks, they're gonna give you food and snacks. And they gave us too much. Like, they came to give us a second course of snacks, like, for free, because it's just part of the experience. It's part of the bill without you directly paying for it. And we literally like said, no, we don't want the second one because we're going for dinner and like didn't want it to be wasted on us and like not eaten, you know? So we were like, oh no, it's okay. But it's great. It was, yeah, very different than what I'm used to in North America. Whereas like if we go to a bar and I want to order an espresso martini, I get an espresso martini and that's it. They don't give me anything else. But here in Italy, or in lots of places in Europe, right, you go for aperitivo, which is like kind of the before dinner time frame, after lunch before dinner. You order an espresso martini or any drink, and they give you a bunch of food for free. Now, maybe that means drinks are priced up slightly to cover, right, to indirectly cover the cost of the food that's being given to you. That's what I would assume. Kind of like free shipping, right? Like free shipping is only free because it's made possible usually through the number of items you order, which the company can justify giving you free shipping when they're getting a little bit more profit, for example. So maybe that's what's happening here. The drinks are priced slightly higher or have a higher profit margin so they can do things like serve you free food. That's what I'm guessing. Maybe that's why it's a fucking $30 espresso martini. But yeah, this was absolutely delicious. So again, this was the Armani Hotel. And if I'm going from memory, I can't remember what this little sandwich was, but this was like a raspberry cream cheese pistachio croquette, which is crazy, like a dessert. This was a piece of like salmon, kind of like sushi style. And then the last thing was a piece of like roasted duck breast in a kind of fried, like almost pierogi style wrap. So just so interesting. And then there was olives and nuts and breadsticks. And this was just the first free course of food. And then we ordered a second drink. And after that, they like came over with more trays of food. And I'm pretty sure he said like la proteína. Like I think he said like the protein course, which I gathered to mean like, oh, like it's a bit more substantial and maybe there's more meat. But we were like, no, we're going for dinner. Like we're gonna get so full. So we said no, but maybe that was gauche of us. I don't know. But like we didn't want to take it and then like not eat it and then get wasted. So by us not actually being served it with, I was saving the food for someone else. Anyways, this was our second drink at the Armani Hotel. Decided to try one of their crafted cocktails. And Bestie got a strawberry basil mojito, which was delicious. And like, look at the like froth on that. It was like a smoothie. It was just so good. And I can't remember the name or I didn't write it down, but it was a pear and cinnamon gin froth drink. Look at that froth. Like that's so much egg white right there. Delicious. Everything was like so good. And I do love crafted cocktails. I think there's like an art to it, whether it's the presentation or how the flavors come together. So I was really curious to like try something like a little different than what I might find here, or just something that sounded kind of like difficult to make. And the way it was explained, I was like, a cinnamon foam? What the fuck is cinnamon foam? And then I learned, and it was so good. It was like infused with pears. Anyways, there's proof. We were at the Armani Hotel. These are my angels, Ben and Bestie. Okay, then we went to dinner. After that, yeah, we had to go to dinner for like a fucking 18-course tasting menu, courtesy of Ben, who picked this. Ben does all of his research. He found, I swear, like, I don't know if it's the fanciest restaurant in all of Europe, but I would believe it if someone said, no, that's the fanciest tasting chef restaurant in all of Europe. Does anyone know this? Use emojis, because YouTube is still blocking. It's called Seta, S-E-T-A. And it's apparently very well known. Like if you know anything, if you're a foodie in Italy at minimum, or even like all of Europe, maybe you've heard of Seta. It's very expensive. We were like, we're doing a very expensive day. Going to the Armani Hotel, and then a fucking 8 tasting course menu or whatever. I don't remember. All right. This place is insane. Like, you walk in and they have lighting designed to highlight the food and the food only. Look how spotlit the tables are. Like, I've never seen a restaurant do this. There's a literal spotlight that looks like what I use to shoot my nails with. Like a very high intensity spotlight that is tunneled, like it has like a dome around it to make its light only emit in a perfectly arranged circle. So you can see how the edges like end just as the circular table, which is also a circle on purpose. They use a lot of circles. Look at the shapes of what's on the table, the plates, the cups, the reflection that you see from the light through the glass, the colors that land on the table. Like everything was so artistic about the lighting and the way they lit up the drinks and the food, and they did it all to present the food. This was more than just eating food. This was an art gallery food experience. Ben was very happy with his choice. Yes, he found a restaurant that I appreciated for so much more than just the food, because I was like, oh my god, the fucking spotlight and the art of like the lighting. It's like the lighting is stunning in here. My nails look amazing. It was beautiful. Okay, so let me just walk you through. So first you sit down and you are just shook at the lighting situation, but they put these interesting plates in front of you that you don't eat off of. It's just there for show for like 5 seconds that you get to look at, and then they take them away. It's just there for art. So stay tuned for a wild tasting experience through your phone. The lighting in here is designed to highlight the food. This was the first round of cocktails we got. We got Aperol Spritzes, and I think Ben got a Negroni, and the orange was like trapped inside the ice, which is not easy to do. But do you see how the lighting is like making the circular aspect of the color of the drink refract down underneath it and creating a very harsh, obvious shadow? Do you know how expensive and intense the light needs to be to do that? It needs to be like a very high-powered like spotlight lamp. This isn't just like some fucking LED stuck in the ceiling, I guess is what I'm saying. And I know this as someone who's had to invest in lighting for nails. Like, to get that effect, like, I need $1,000 lamp, I'm pretty sure. Because it's not close. It was like way up in the ceiling. Yeah. This isn't just like some $50 LED thing. No. Serious lighting. Like Aperture Level, which is a brand that like studios use. Yeah, so when restaurants are very expensive for the food and, you know, whatever, if they also reinvest back into their aesthetic, the presentation, like the atmosphere, then I am more appreciative of it too, because it's like they're trying to make the whole experience better. And so like I, as a photographer or whatever, like was like, oh my god, okay, I see where some of the money went. I love it. Okay, I'll get off the lighting, but I'm just absolutely love it. Okay, amuse bouches, which is where they amuse your mouth with just a couple free things at first. Here's the tasting menu. I think the idea was you could pick like one of the 3 storylines and be like, give me this storyline, like the left one, or give me the middle one. And they had a theme. If you wanted to like come 3 times, you could, you know, do section 1, then 2, then 3 a different night. We decided to just do a la carte so we could kind of get the experience across the tasting, since we're probably never gonna go back here. But and then we asked for recommendations, and we all got something different. So we didn't do the same thing together. We decided to be a bit more strategic, get different things, and then be able to like try each other's or whatever, because, you know, sharing. Me pretending I understanding what I'm reading. Yes, there was some complicated stuff on there, and I'm not the biggest foodie, so sometimes fancy food is a bit lost on me, you know? I just like my garbage bowls. But this was fucking delicious. Like, it was very good. There's no way I'm gonna get everything right, so just enjoy looking at it and guessing what it is. I'll try and go from memory. This was basically like avocado toast, but 10 times better. Calling it avocado toast would be an insult to the chef. but it was delicious. Ben got some wine. That's a grande bottle of vino. Well, we all had wine. We asked them to do a tasting wine pairing for us. So they started us with white wine, and they picked a different wine for each of us depending on what we were eating. So see how they're served in different shaped glasses? Look at the shadow reflection too. Isn't that crazy? Okay, I swear, I'm just so obsessed with this. What's the name of this restaurant? It's called Seta, S-E-T-A. It's in Milan, and it's very expensive, but it's one of the highest rated, like, chef known restaurants, I think, in like all of Europe, according to Ben. So we asked, because I don't know anything about wine, and I look like an idiot, like, looking through a wine list, which I did ask for, just out of curiosity, because I wanted to see what was the most expensive. I like playing that game. But we asked the wine sommelier to recommend, can you just, like, pick a wine that makes sense to do with each of our meals or whatever? And depending on what they recommend, they also put them in different shaped glasses, because apparently the experience of consuming the wine changes depending on the size of the glass. Which, like, I believe I'm just not the person to explain it or appreciate it. But that's why we had different sizes, even though it looks like we're drinking the same color wine. Like, this was both white, but they were different types of white. Okay, this is butter. What the fuck? It was like a little butter Christmas tree. I can't remember what herbs were infused in this one. And that one looks like a macaron, but, like, how did they do that? That's the name of the restaurant. In cursive, in butter, on top of the butter puck. How do you do that? Like, in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe they kind of melted some of it and they put it in, like, a squishy bag, kind of like an icing cake. And they cut just the tiniest tip, and then someone had to write in cursive, Seta, on top of the puck of butter. Maybe? Or was it a mold? It could have been a mold. There I was thinking they were, like, cake icing it. But anyways, even the butter was insane. Okay, and a lot of dishes, they finished it in front of you. So these were scallops. And then he came and, like, would pour, you know, stuff as I was sitting there. And you know what's also really interesting was the way that the servers did, like, a dance together. So there was 3 of us at the table, and they served our meals all at the exact same time. Like, no one got their plate down first. And when I say the exact same time, I mean the exact same time. It was coordinated. It was like a dance. They would come out, and then they would, like, look at each other, and then they would go and place the dishes down at the same time for all 3 people. And just the way they move in between you, like, it's a dance. So not only was there, like, lighting and other vibes, but there was, like, they were dancers in a way. Which is just another thing beyond the food that makes it part of the experience, that I don't know if everyone's even really, like, noticing that the way they're all coordinated. And it goes so far as when they're gonna pour something to, like, finish the meal in front of you. Let's say 2 of our dishes required a pouring of something. They would look at each other, make eye contact, and then go, and then pour at the exact same time, and they would finish at the same time, which was kind of crazy. So, like, that's what I was watching. I was like, oh my god. They're, like, coordinated dancers. It was like Cirque du Soleil, but food. But they were just putting my food together, just pouring in the dish. Absolutely beautiful. It is performance art. This, I believe, was like a deconstructed blue lobster, which is just beautiful with all the little droplets. This was a black truffle something. I wrote something. Ben had black truffle something. Delicious. This was raspberry risotto. It was so rich. This is what Bestie got. I just had like one bite of it. It was so rich. It was insane. I had this fish, which I can't remember which one it is, but it had a tiny piece of crispy kale, like just like one little piece. And I swear it was like the best tiny piece of kale I've had in my life. Also the washrooms, stunning. Look at this marble, Italian marble. Things we do in Italian washrooms, like wow. I don't know if you can tell, but the marble itself was glossy. It was like reflective. And it was just everywhere. Like floor to ceiling, countertops, the backsplash, but also the walls. Just absolutely stunning. I love Italian bathrooms. Okay, there's us choosing. You can kind of get a better view of the rest of the restaurant. So see, everyone has the spotlight like in the ceiling that is just so particular. So if you're walking kind of in the aisle, you're not lit up at all. It's really only the tables. All right, cheers. We're on to red. Have you seen a redder wine? I don't think so. No filter. I also made my nails look pretty fucking sick. Look at this. Wait for the lighting reveal, okay? I'm going to show you. But just check out the shadows. And then I go up, and that's your spotlight. Which is way more powerful and from like a lumen's perspective than you think, because there's just no way it's casting those super stark shadows without this being like a fucking serious spotlight. All right, so moving on to, I don't know, course number 7. Who knows? This was a chicken and some type of green mixture that all I could describe it as was green silk. I was like, this tastes like green silk. That's not what it said on the menu, but the chicken was also so rich and tender, and it wasn't just whatever was on it. I don't remember what this was. Probably some type of fish. Ben got something else with black truffles. Absolutely delicious. There was way too many dishes to remember it all, so, you know, she's trying. And then when it was time for dessert, they gave you this cutlery, which had like all these ornate, intricate carvings on it. So beautiful. More detailed than any nail art that Simplytravelogical has ever done. Me not wearing nail art. Here's our dessert course. Wow. Like, look at the artistry of it all. Now, I think I didn't include all the pictures. I have too many Snapchats to save them. Mine was a raspberry cheesecake, but like probably way more fancy things than that. But these little shaved things, these like shaved circles, were actually like flash frozen shaved grapes. Which when you put it in your mouth, it kind of like popped in a really cold way. The best way I can explain it, which is definitely like an insult to the chef, would be like sort of how, you know, like pop rocks that like kind of go in your mouth like that, except not. But a similar effect achieved by like super fucking cold slices, very thin slices of grapes that almost made like my mouth go like with like the frozenness of it. I like didn't understand. I was like, how what? It was so fancy and like a crazy wake up to your taste buds. And so that paired with the cheesecake, which is probably also just like not the right word because it was way fancier than cheesecake, but so good. This I think was that was like a beet chocolate cup. Yeah. The red part of it was like a beet, like, you know, like beets, like the vegetable. I can't remember if that was some kind of a mousse, but this was like a rich cocoa beet crust. Ben had a pumpkin millefeuille. Yes, right, because I thought it was an interesting word because it was like sounded kind of French. Because fave means like paper, so in French. So I understood that as like, oh, that's why it's like so thin and it kind of like crumbled in your mouth like a piece of very thin cooked paper. But it was a pumpkin flavor. Like a pastry, I guess. All right, there's Ben trying Amaro. Actually, I wonder if there's sound on this. Let's put the sound on.
That's our next stop. We're off to Cortina tomorrow.
Oh, really?
So Ben is trying Amaro
Oh, wow.
at the suggestion of the server.
He said, wow.
That's very nice.
Look how he's pouring it too. Like he knows.
Wait,
like,
the recipe's a secret?
they hold the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put our Italian music back on. That was loud. Yeah, sorry. All right, so here's what I was trying to tell you. So Ben asks, okay, what after dinner liqueur should I get, you know, for the experience? And the guy's like, okay, we're gonna give you a good Amaro. So that's what he got. Instead of asking, I just decided to order like, oh, can we get a limoncello? Because I thought I was like, I know what I'm talking about. Now, they didn't say no. Well, they kind of said, that's not what you want. Are you like, can we recommend something else for the palate or whatever? And I was like, oh, but I like limoncello. And then, to be fair, like, he explained what would work better with the desserts. But I just, like, kind of wanted to experience what a really good limoncello was. And I knew that I liked it. And I wasn't really interested in the Amaro, to be honest. It's just, like, not my, I don't know, my tasting profile. So they didn't say no, but they just kind of said it's, like, not really what we would recommend. But I'd already done all the recommendations. Like, I did the wines, I did everything else. So I was like, okay, I kind of just want to try your limoncello, though. So this is my episode #1 where I learned that it's a bit gauche and it's an obvious tell you're a tourist if you're ordering limoncello at a nice restaurant. Anyways, it was really good. I think, like, is it just because it's, like, cheap? Is that why they, like, look down on it? I honestly don't know. I'm sure an Italian can explain to me. But maybe not today because you're being blocked from anything unless you use emojis or characters, unfortunately. Anyways, it was delicious. Here, I brought some for you. You can have some, too. This is probably not the brand that was used, but it's not over yet because then he came to our table with a fresh cut chocolate on a bar cart. So they had like a white chocolate, a dark hazelnut chocolate, and some other milk chocolate. He was explaining them to us and he like chopped them in front of us. So it was like freshly chopped. And then these different other liqueurs that you could have. But we were like, we're getting literally so drunk. Like, please stop giving us alcohol or else we'll be unable to appreciate the taste of the food. Anyways, this was the Italian chocolate. Absolutely delicious. When you think it's over, but then there's another course. Oh my god. Literally, Ben. This was like basically a peanut butter cup, but obviously better. And this was like a corn puff ball. Probably not corn. I don't remember, but it was all crazy delicious. There was these like little like icing powder sugar puff pastry type things, and then the chocolate, and there was just this was after dessert, so we already had dessert, and then there was this more dessert. I stole Ben's drink for this picture because I drank the limoncello and it didn't suit the vibe, so Simply's an Amaro girl, just for show. Oh yeah, and then there was these. See, there's more desserts. See, look in front of me. The one on the left was like almost like a peanut butter pie. It had like piped peanut butter filling, and then there was a raspberry like jelly ball served on what looked like a cylindrical block of ice. Like crazy. And it made a cool shadow, of course. I wonder if you can hear Ben. Hold on, I'm gonna turn on his volume. I can't remember if this was music. No, sorry, that's just Italian music. So Ben was eating some of it, and he's just like, I can't fucking do it, man. Like, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna pass out. I'm so full, but I gotta eat it. All right, and that concludes our evening at Seta Milan. If you're wondering, it's this. Seta by Antonio Guida. So it's been recommended, like, I don't know if Michelin stars is the right word, but like it's been reviewed by Michelin people, which means fancy chef things. Incredibly expensive, yes. But crazy, like absolutely insane experience, more than just the food. Everything about it was wonderful. Okay, we're literally still on Milan and it's 7 p.m. Oh my god, I need to go faster. All right. Oh yeah, we went to a club. Okay, let's go to the club. I'm gonna pee out the tea and I will BRB, and then we're going clubbing. Let me know what ad you get, and I will be right back. Simply is back. Is chat working yet? Here, let's refresh it one more time. Yeah, the chat hates English. I know. If you're coming in late, chat, for some reason, YouTube is banning English. But if you type in obscured characters, it works. I don't know. Like, I didn't do anything. Wait a second. No. No. Okay, sorry. I thought I had the wrong setting on who can send messages, but that's not it. It's always been subscribers, not anyone. That's fine. But I'm just trying to double check, make sure I don't have like on some accidental. It's not on age restriction. It says no, don't restrict my video. Choose if you want to show comments. Yes. Moderation is on basic. But that's for the comment section. That's not even for the chat. Who can comment? Anyone. Yep. So all that's normal. What do you mean no audio? You have audio. It is so strange. Okay, I'm gonna just check one more thing because it is really frustrating. I know you guys are like, you can't hear me? What do you mean? What do you mean you can't hear me? I didn't change that. You think it's a worldwide bug? Okay, so you're seeing it other places? Don't tell me you can't hear me now. Audio's fine. Okay, that chat is just crazy. I'm just gonna check one more thing under my like channel settings, because there is like a filter, whatever. Like you can change your chat. But I haven't changed anything. Where is it? Community moderation, right. Messages in your live chat. Moderation, none. I mean, that that we have that's not what, it doesn't mean that we don't have moderators, but it just means the automated moderation tool on YouTube is off, which I want, because when I've had it on before, it will hold you guys just saying the word fuck, and I don't want that. I want you to be able to say fuck. So I turned that off, and that's it. That's literally it. And then yeah, I have some blocked words because it's like really bad words that like obviously people shouldn't say, that YouTube should block, but who knows. But that's it. I don't have English blocked. So all my settings are correct and not remain unchanged. So I do think this is like a YouTube. Okay, so all YouTube streams have this problem. People are reporting it. Okay, thank you for clarifying. Yeah, this is just really unfortunate. I know it sucks for you guys too. You want to be able to like say things and that I can't really see what you're asking or commenting. Qu'est-ce que fuck? I'm sorry. I hope it should be fixed by Saturday, right? YouTube. But yeah, in case you're coming in late, you can speak with accents and it works. All right, continuing Milan. What an amazing dinner we had. Now let's go clubbing. Night number 2, we're going clubbing. So we went to, I think it was called Just Me. It was called Just Me Milan. And they call it the discotheque. The discotheque. And it was cool. It was fun. We had Aperol spritzes. And there was a bunch of teenage boys. Just me and some teenage boys. I'm being silly. I don't think it was just teenage boys. There was more than that. But yeah, it was either teenage boys or older men in turtlenecks, and maybe a couple women. That's what I noticed. The other thing was, at least at this club, they were playing like English millennial music the entire time. Which I wasn't expecting. I guess, I don't know what I was expecting. Like, maybe kind of like European EDM, right? Because like EDM and like trance music and like DJs who do that kind of stuff is more popular in Europe, which like I love that type of music. That's what I listen to a lot in like remixes when I'm working out or whatever. I love dancing to that. But it was all like English millennial music, like Shakira and like some R&B stuff that was like from the 2000s. I'm not gonna play it because it's like copyright probably. Ain't no how holla back girl, like Gwen Stefani. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I knew every song and all the lyrics because I'm just an English millennial lady from Canada. And I look around and I'm just like shocked because I'm pretty sure like 80% of people there are just locals, right? From Italy or Milan. And maybe there was like 5%, I know that math doesn't math, who maybe kind of looked like they were tourists who were coming to the club. So I was just like, wow, this is so strange. That's like music that's so catering to me when I am not the common demographic there. Like the average other person there was a guy who was probably 20 years old and lived in Italy, but yet they were playing music that is for a 37-year-old North American. Anyways, I had such a good time for that reason. I was pleasantly surprised. Europe is very millennial coded, like radio stations, bars. That's crazy. I love it there then. I'm like, what? It's more millennial North American coded than North America. What the helly? The music was absolutely poppin'. Young people go clubbing more than older people. Yes. But why is the music all for my age? It's like from my age group. I'm like, I love this song. It really was the best type of club music, I thought anyways. Because I used to dance to this music 15 years ago when I was a child. And you know what's funny? Like, when I was 20 years old, let's say I went to a bar and it was like 80s night or something. And they were playing like, I don't know, disco music. You know, this was older than me by at least a decade or more in terms of what I grew up listening to. I wouldn't have enjoyed that. I would have been like, ew, what? Not, okay, maybe not ew, I'm exaggerating. But it like wouldn't be what I would be looking forward to. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, yay, yes, I know all the lyrics. Like, I definitely did not know all the lyrics to like 80s music if I'm doing like a staggered timeline example to try and draw a parallel here. So I guess I'm just like so shocked that the 20-year-olds now are like, yeah, dancing to Gwen Stefani, Ain't No Holla Back Girl, which is like, what? So old for them anyways. Gen Z does like millennial music and trends. Strange. Anyways, great time clubbing in Milan. Simply danced up, didn't care. The only other girl, so like, you notice the other girls, those were just bottle service girls. Like these girls, very hot Italian bottle service girlies. But other than that, I swear there was like 10 women in the entire club. Like, other than the girls who worked there, everyone was a Italian boy. Then there's me and Bestie, but yeah. Okay, and I think that concludes just Shrimply in a club in Italy, dancing to millennial music. And now, let's go to Cortina. Next up, good morning, I'm alive, I think. This was on the rooftop of the hotel where I had a orange juice that was literally the color of my red sweater. Like, what the fuck? I ordered orange juice and then he brought me this and I was like, is this orange juice or strawberry juice? He's like, no, it's orange juice. It's just like blood orange. So it's very orange. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, Tropicana could never. Absolutely delicious. It was so good. Like, you can get blood oranges here, but I just never do because they kind of taste more sour. I don't know what it is about buying citrus in Canada. It's just like kind of blech. So I just don't bother with blood orange or any oranges really. Like they're just shit. And I used to have Florida oranges all the time because my grandmother would get them specially shipped when they were in season because she lived in Florida. So I know what a good orange is, right? And this blood orange was absolutely amazing. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm like, I need all the vitamin C right now. We just ordered a little cute breakfast before we refueled for a travel day. I just had like quite a simple oatmeal and banana so I could kind of have a piece of home. Ben had some poached eggs on toast, and he ordered a lot of coffees while he was there. He is a coffee boy, but he doesn't drink straight up espresso. He likes what's called a flat white, and I think that's a term more commonly used in Australia and some of Canada. But they don't say that in Europe. They don't know what the fuck a flat white is. If they do, it's because they've traveled. Like a few people like kind of knew what he meant, but they said, no, you can't order it that way. You have to order an espresso macchiato. Not just espresso, but espresso macchiato, which means like just a little bit of milk in your espresso. So anyways, he learned what he should order to get what he normally gets. And I prefer the term espresso macchiato over flat white. Flat white sounds so white, you know? So it's like an ugly word for fancy coffee. I don't know what this says, but I just liked the Italian of it all. Is chat working? Wait, how come it's working for some of you? Hold on, I'm gonna reopen it to see if it's working. Shut up, is it working? Not for everyone, but for some people. Only for the lucky ones. All right. Then we took a high-speed train. I have never taken a high-speed train before because trains in Ontario could never be high-speed. And we went all the way from Milan to not actually Cortina. We then had to take a 2-hour car. So I don't even remember where we went. Does this say? I don't know. I'm so lost. We went from Milano to Venice, I think. Does that make sense? Going to the mountains now on a very fast train. A gorgeous train ride, too. Some of it was kind of bleh, but then there was other parts where beautiful, beautiful countryside, beautiful homes. Like, look how like colorful and fun that is. And then you see the mountains in the backdrop. Beautiful. All right, Atandra, who's Prego? Who are you calling Pregnante? Then we swapped to a car to drive us another 2 hours into the mountains because the train does not go into Cortina. It was actually very inconvenient to figure out how to get to the next destination, which is where the curling was held, along with other Olympic sports like skiing because it's in the mountains. So we had to take a 2-hour train and then a 2-hour car ride. We passed by some grape fields where that's how they make wine. We're climbing, we're getting higher. And my ears were definitely popping and getting fucked up from the ride. Ben got a little motion sickness. I don't think he'll mind me telling you this, but we did have to pull over in the car. It was a very windy road. It was 2 hours of, well, it was 1 hour of like, whatever, fine. We're climbing, whatever, our ears are popping and it's kind of like, whoa, elevation, whoa. But then the second hour, as you continue higher up the mountain, the roads just get like windier and wobblier. And then, apparently, according to our driver, like at least one person every time has to throw up in the car. Like, which is just so bad. So Ben was that person, unfortunately, on the way up to Cortina. He just, yeah, it was really bad. I hated seeing him like that. I feel so bad, but what are you gonna do, you know? We stopped twice, I think, to have him get some air. But you could tell, like, he was turning, like, pale. He said he was gonna be sick. We're like, okay, pull over. And then, yeah, he's just like, phew. And this wasn't from drinking or anything. He drank, like, the least of us. Me and Bestie, like, were definitely more hungover. Or hungover at all. But we were both surprisingly fine. And I am someone who gets car sick. So I don't know. I guess I'm just lucky that didn't happen to me. I felt like it did feel a little bit like wobbly and whatever. My ears were kind of fucked up, but I didn't feel like I had to actually throw up, and he did, and then so it took us a little bit longer to get to the cabin, but that's okay. poor man. But we finally made it after a full day of travel. We made it to Cortina, which is the mountain town of Italy. So peak mountains. It is winter there in a more traditional sense because there's snow and there's a huge snowfall while we were there. We're here. Olympic women's curling in Cortina. Let's go Team Canada. So we were there to cheer on, as you know, Team Homan, which is a team that HOLO Taco actually sponsors. And yeah. We love them, so it was really cool to travel to the Olympics to get a chance to see them. So that's what's coming up in the next series of snaps. So that's just us, the first game we were there for. And it was kind of cool to see like all the countries' flags and people from different countries just representing. There's some of our girls. Let's go. Go Team Homan. And here we are in real life to cheer them on. So you can see how they make the curling rinks, especially for the Olympics. Looks very different than if you ever watch curling, like normally. It's just like how they finish it. Everything's a lot cleaner. Like there's less branding because it's just the Olympics, right? So everything's gonna look a bit different. But they built this rink especially for the Olympics. We're wearing a jersey that I got specially made. Look what they did for me. Those are their signatures, and that's Simplytravelogical. I got this like a couple years ago from you watch curling, trying to spot the nail polish. So they're all wearing our shades. So I'm pretty sure Rachel was wearing Skipping Stones. She loves that one. But here you go. If you've never seen curling before, this is what it is. You throw a rock, and then two people sweep in front of it to change the texture of the ice, basically, to help it go faster or slower. You saw me on TV? Yes, I was on TV. National television. All right, so that first game we saw, or that I was there for, they won. They've been playing a bunch before we got there. Well, yeah. It's very exciting to like be there in person and with people like in real life. Cheers. All right, here's the cabin where we were staying in Cortina. Very cozy, very cute. This is when I woke up in the morning and no one else was awake. There was a blizzard outside on our first day, so you literally could see nothing. Like, look, it's just white out. I'm like, this is not Milan. Very huge difference between Milan and then a cabin in Cortina. So people are sleeping and I'm bored and can't go anywhere outside alone, or I might perish in the mountains. So I cleaned the kitchen. Brought my Canadian maple tea to Italy. There's a little Italian kettle. Gironi. This is the communal coffee situation. There was just a bowl of coffee grounds. And as a tea lady, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I'm like, what is this bowl of dirt? That's not an espresso martini. Yes, then it was time for the Moka Pot. Yes, if you've watched my Snapchat, you know. I was trying to help people figure it out. All right. Oh, This was, I think I stole this from Instagram. In one of the Team Homan shots, you could see like all their nails painted. So I was trying to be like, okay, what are they wearing? What are they wearing though? Skipping Stones. Pretty sure that's Devil's Advocate. I think that's Cardinal Sins. But I know one of them changed their nails at one point and then was wearing not milky white. Like just straight up white. But it was fun to play this game. All right, what was I wearing though? I was wearing Canada flag nails because if you went like this with these 3 nails, look, it's the Canada flag. I'm still wearing them. Look how long this has lasted me. A commercial for my own nail polish. I've had this mani on for like 11 days at this point because I did it the day before I left. I was using sacrificial lacquer using the super magnet method, which you can't really tell from a picture, right? But when I like turn sideways, then you see it. So it gets like darker and then it gets more red. More of a subtle effect, but I think it's beautiful. Were you invited to the Olympics? Well, no one needs to be invited. You can just go. What do you mean invited? No, the Olympics committee did not invite me. Just anyone from the public can go. You basically just need tickets. So I was wearing sacrificial lacquer and not milky white to do a simple like Canada represent. All right, Italian pizza. Look at that, fucking crazy. Also, one other thing that I found interesting and very different than North America is they don't serve you water like by default. Any restaurant I've gone to in Canada or the States, you know, if you're ordering lunch or dinner or whatever, they usually just pour you a glass of water or it's just kind of always there. Maybe a server might forget and you have to be like, oh, can I get some water? And they're like, oh yeah, sorry, like no problem. But that just, you don't get water. You have to ask for water. And then usually it's in a bottle that you pay for. So I learned very quickly I need to ask and I need like to order a lot of water because I basically chug water, especially if I'm drinking. I will have at least a glass of water for every alcohol beverage that I consume. So I ended up paying for multiple bottles of water every time I went out, which is fine. But like, it's just very different than what I'm used to. I'm used to like a bottomless cup of free water anytime I go anywhere, but this is not it. Yes, you have to pay for water and usually no refills, right? Because you're getting a bottle. I mean, to be fair, if I bought a bottle of sparkling water here, I'm paying for it. But it's just, it didn't seem to be an option to get like, can I just get your free tap water? Like, no, it was like, do you want a bottle of still or a bottle of sparkling? And I'm like, I guess I'll buy a bottle of still. I don't know, but I just need some water, please. But I kind of don't understand though, because I Googled it and the water in Italy is clean and good to drink, right? Because I wanted to know, can I drink from the tap here? I had no idea. And in some places in North America, like you shouldn't drink from the tap. Like it depends. Ottawa, you generally can, but a lot of people do have like home filtration systems or they use something like a Brita filter and then they maybe feel better about drinking from the tap because it's being filtered. So, excuse me. So I looked it up and if you Google it, like here, can you drink from the tap in Italy? Yes, tap water in Italy is generally safe to drink. However, okay, well, whatever. That's not the simple answer is yes, and it's because there's a lot of like regulations that the EU will, require, and the only places you can't drink from the tap is they like legally have to advertise and like write like non potable, like non-potable water. So occasionally you would see something that said like, no, you can't drink from this. Like at the Olympic Stadium, because it was built just for the Olympics, at the sink, I noticed it actually said like non potable. I don't know why I'm saying it in French. Non-potable water. But if you look up like Cortina, like in the mountains, like apparently the water in the mountains is actually really fucking good and pure and tastes better too. So, and when I was like reading this, because I thought it would be insane to buy the amount of water bottles that I needed to drink in Cortina, because like you can't get water for free from restaurants. So I was like, fuck, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to buy like 8 billion bottles of water and lug them up to our cabin. But no, you can drink from the tap and it tastes pretty good. So luckily I could do that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like the water is safe to drink from the tap, right? But they make you buy water and they don't just give you tap water when it's free. Like I'm fine with your tap water, sir. I didn't understand. Maybe I need a European to explain it to me. They just don't care about hydration. Is that it? It's just like gauche to like drink too much water. You only drink wine. Water resources not as plentiful in the mountains. We are in the mountains. In this pizza shop, we're literally in Cortina, in the mountains, and they don't serve you regular water. They're like, do you want a bottle or of sparkling or still? And I'm like, okay, I guess I got a bottle of still. Yes, I'll pay you. I don't even remember how many euros it was. Yeah, the wine's on tap and they charge for water. All right, then I met a Simply fan. This was so fun. So I was having pizza for lunch, and a Simply fan from Romania. I wrote this wrong. I apologize. Here you have to ask specifically that you want tap water. Otherwise, the server will assume you want bottled water. See, that's yeah, that I don't get, because it's like the opposite here. And I didn't think I had to say tap water because the servers already like don't always speak English. I mean, I know they're serving a lot of tourists, especially during the Olympics. But I would just be like, can I get some water? Like I wouldn't say bottle. I would just say water. And they would always be like sparkling or still or plain. They would sometimes say plain. And I was like, plain or still. And it was always a bottle. Now, maybe they just knew I was a tourist and like did that as a way to charge me when they could have given me just plain water from the tap. But I don't know. That was my experience anyways. Every time it was a bottle of water. Anyways, so I was eating pizza and a Simply fan from Romania was like, oh my God, Simply, you're here. Why are you here? So that was so fun. And I happened to carry some HOLO Taco around me. I carry bottles of nail polish around with me most of the time when I'm out in public going to like things, because you just never know if you're going to meet someone. And I kind of think it's a fun thing to be able to be like, hey, you want a HOLO Taco? I have one right here. So that's what I did. I gave her a HOLO Taco because how crazy is it that like I'm running into people literally in the fucking mountains of Italy. And she's not even from there. She said she was from Romania and came for the Olympics. And we just happened to see each other at a pizza shop. Yeah, you gotta have that emergency HOLO Taco on you at all times. So very nice meeting Simply people, nail people from around the world. And then we go back. We out here again, game day. Oh, here, I think I can play this clip.
Let's go, Canada!
Look, she turned. She's like, guys, you're too fucking loud. I was with some screamers, yes. All right. There they are, Team Canada, also known as Team Homan, representing Team Canada for the Olympics. And this was our women's curling team: Rachel Homan, Tracy Fleury, Emma Miskew, and Sarah Wilkes. If you're here, come say hello. I may have nail polish on me. So thank you to those people that I met. And then people started sending me clips of me on national television. Yes, more than once, like multiple times, I think, throughout the few games that I attended, was me and the crew I was with caught on camera, like cheering. So thank you for sending me those. I think it's kind of funny. Ben was being covered by the flag, unfortunately. He is behind the flag.
Give it to us, Rach.
Is chat working?
Not worried. They're not worried.
No, they're good.
Canada wins this round. Just to show you some of the energy of what it was like there. I'm looking at live chat. Is it working again? I have it on live, but let me put it top and then back to live. Have you been released? Is it working? Are we back? Fuck, that was the worst 2.5 hours of chat with you guys in jail. We are so back. Everyone, you can talk again. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That sucked. I was just like, felt like I was talking to myself. You're out. You've been let out of jail. Thank God. Okay. That was such an awkward 2 hours. All right, okay, let's keep going. Yeah, you're free. You're back. You're back. Okay, good. Anyways. Cheers! Cheers! Another Aperol Spritz. And then we got some charcuterie at a Swiss pop-up house. Because this was the Olympics, there was like pop-ups for different countries. And we went to the Swiss house. And we had some charcuterie and Swiss cheese. It was delicious. There's us in what became our unofficial uniform. These pants are leggings from Lululemon that say Team Canada. Anyone can buy them from Lululemon. They released like a whole line of their like Olympic merch because Lululemon was the official sponsor for Team Canada. But then like anyone from the public could buy some of the stuff. So we bought some of their leggings, which were actually so comfortable. They're like the Align leggings, if you know what those are. And they like had these kind of rubberized Team Canada with the coordinates for Canada. I don't know what part of Canada on the leg. So that was fun. We got those. And then our jerseys are actually what was a gift. At least mine says Simplytravelogical. And I think she's wearing Emma Miskew's. That's one of her best friends. From like a different competition that's not official Olympic wear, but because HOLO Taco is a sponsor of Team Homan, normally That's why our logo's on this jersey. But at the Olympics, you don't have logos from other people. It's just like the country you're representing. Can we get Team Canada stuff from the US too? I would think so. If Lululemon, like, you mean like these leggings? Like, this is just like on their website normally. But I actually don't know, because I just ordered it as a normal person. I didn't get that like for free or anything. Okay, now that you guys can actually talk again, it's like very exciting, so I want to read your comments. It works on and off for me, so I'm not free. No, silly munchkins! Release silly munchkins! I joined halfway through and thought you did it on purpose. Why would I do that on purpose? No? Okay, here, let's continue. All right, everyone was sending me this clip from, like, I don't know if it was like CBC News or something. It was on like Canadian national television where they were showing more of this. And I had the peace sign, like, taking a picture. I was actually making a video. At the end of the video, I like went like this. But the clip that they put on TV was like everyone cheering or doing something, and then I was like taking a picture of my nails, like such a fucking nail influencer. So kind of funny. Ben sounds like a silly munchkins problem. Oh, Ben's here. It was on CBC. Yes, I saw the same clip. Yeah, that was a good clip. There it is again. Some of you guys were sending this to me. Thank you. Here's my POV. What am I doing? I don't know. I was just randomly filming shit and I went like this. All right, mountain goats. That's what we have called ourselves, was mountain goats, because look at these fucking mountains. We were staying in a cabin that was like a 20-minute walk from where the Olympics stadium, at least the curling stadium, was. And it was hills. Like hills and then curves and then like snow. And Ubers were not really a thing. Apparently, like, normally there isn't really Ubers at all in this town, but the local taxi service had some kind of partnership with Uber so that it would make more sense for like North American tourists who use Uber. But really it was just normal taxi people who were like having to figure out what Uber is so they could get business that way, right? Because everyone uses Uber from North America. But anyways, even still, it was very hard to come by because there's some roads that like a car can't really drive down. Like, it's very hard for a car if there's snow. And it would like fucking, no one wants to fall off a cliff now. So instead we ended up just like walking or not walking, actually climbing back to our cabin. So yeah, we became mountain goats by the end of this trip. I fell a couple times in the snow. I bruised my hand. I wonder if it's still bruised. You can kind of see. I have a picture that I think I posted, but I fell on this part of my hand. Still a little purple, but you know. I earned my mountain goat status. Here's the view from our Cortina cabin. Finally, we can see it because when we first got there, there was like a blizzard, so it was pure whiteout. But now, like, that's what I woke up to every morning. It was absolutely stunning. And you know what's interesting? The same thing happened when I went to Colorado, but I thought this was so interesting. So my Apple Watch will tell me, it'll alert me when my blood oxygen is lower than normal. So it's all relative to like what is normal for you. And it knew that my blood oxygen had dropped to 90.8 because we were so high up in the mountains. And I guess like that just happens, right? When you're at higher elevation, you have to work harder to breathe. So then I Googled, what's the elevation in Cortina versus Ottawa? and it's a huge difference. So here's some science for ya. Cortina, 1,000 meters elevation, my blood oxygen was 90%. But in Ottawa, where I normally live, it's 70 meters, which is like nothing. Very flat, very low. And normally I'm around 96% blood oxygen. So what this means, I think, is when someone like me goes to the fucking mountains, it's supposed to be harder to breathe. And that's why my ears were popping and shit. How can it tell what your blood oxygen is? I don't know. How does the Apple Watch know what your blood oxygen is? I think it's like through these little lights. Wow, I can't spell anything. Here. By shining a light through your wrist and measuring the amount of light reflected. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like it uses, sometimes like I'll notice like a light kind of flashing behind it, and it's figuring out what your blood oxygen is. I don't really know how. This is not my industry. But it has like sensors on the back of it. And I think what's most important is not necessarily the number itself, but it's like the relativity, right? Because like it has almost 2 years of knowing what mine is just based on, you know, every day trying to figure it out. And then the relativity of that normal versus when I go to Cortina, I think that's kind of more interesting. And people will say the same thing about like other things that Apple watches measure. Comparing yourself to someone else, like whatever, not really as reliable, but you comparing your own stats to your own over time and using like metrics like that is more helpful or more meaningful rather. So that's really, it's not really like the number itself. Like I don't fucking know if it's 96 is like truly, yes, I'm exactly 96 normally. I don't fucking know. But I noticed this difference when I went to Denver, Colorado. I also got a warning for my blood oxygen and it had dropped quite a bit. Popping ears, yeah. That happens when you go to Mexico City. The elevation is higher than normal, yeah. It gives you headaches too, yeah. That athletes train at high altitude, so they get more used to it. You're right. I wonder if it affected the athletes. So this is a great question. Yeah. And I think like some athletes chose to go a bit earlier because it helps to get acclimated to the elevation if that's not what they're used to. Just so they can like start to adjust. I think after a few days, like my blood oxygen started to go up slightly, but it didn't go quite to 96. This was just on the first day where I got like a warning that's like, what the fuck? Like it literally like alerts you when it thinks something like that has dropped. All right. Okay. The Moka Pot. What the fuck is this? I mean, I'm not a coffee drinker, so like you can't expect me to know what some coffee contraptions are anyways. But this is like a very archaic way to make coffee to me, who like everyone I know who makes coffee just uses like a coffee pod, like an espresso machine or something where it's just like a pod, you put it in, you press a button, right? It's all electric. It's not like stovetop coffee. But this is called Moka Pot, as I've learned, and it's kind of all they have in Cortina, unless you have a real espresso machine, which when we went to a bar or something and ordered an espresso martini, yeah, they had real espresso machines. But just like in a random cabin, this is what they use. This is very European coded. This is how old people's grannies make coffee. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so it's a little archaic, so I'm not wrong to suggest that. It looks like it's been through a dishwasher. I don't know. Are you supposed to put in the dishwasher? But I had a hard time like figuring this out, and I got up first most mornings, so I was like trying to figure out how to make other people coffee. It's a lot easier when it's just like a fucking pod or a button that you press. But we had quite the experience. So, oh, it didn't save the clip. Okay, here. So let me explain. Okay, you know that big pot of dirt, the coffee grounds? Okay, so when me and my other friend woke up, we thought that there was like extra grounds inside this part that was dry, and we didn't understand why it was in there if it wasn't like damp yet. We were like, okay, this is weird. Let's just put it back in the grounds so that way we can see what's under it, and then we'll like start over. So she took the bottom part and like dumped what we thought was the coffee grounds that we could see back into the big bowl of the giant bowl of coffee grounds. But there was water in the tank underneath it that we couldn't see because it was like under the filter, and like we didn't know that there was like a thing inside the thing because like, I don't know, I've never used this before. So we ended up dumping water into the pot of coffee grounds, like the giant bowl, which we thought like meant it's all ruined, right? Like that means it's ruined, I think. So we lost the bowl of coffee grounds, but it's okay because there was more in the bag. So we're like, fuck, okay. Clearly don't know what we're doing. Later we learned that one of the guys staying with us set it up like that on purpose so that all he had to do was just turn it on the stove. Like it was already like there was already water in it and there was already grounds in it. We didn't know that there was water already in it. We're just like, why are the grounds on it? Let's dump it out and start over. We didn't know that he had like pre-prepared it. So yeah, okay, we're done. But we don't know this Moka Pot. Anyways, that wasn't even the only mistake we made. The evidence was erased, okay? The bowl, gone. Don't know what happened to it. So then we figured it out, okay? We figured out like, okay, now we water on the bottom, coffee grounds in the middle part, put the shit on the stove, turn on the gas stove, and then it starts to boil up. I'm gonna turn up the audio.
Yeah, look. Oh my god, it's like a fountain.
Oh, we are engineers.
It's gurgling.
It's working.
Look. Oh, is that how it makes the like crema? Like the
How it's
kind of frothy part?
I guess.
Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stop it. Stop it.
Did you get it?
Oh my god. Oh.
It started spitting at us. Like, we look away for 2 seconds and then on the gas stove. You need to keep the lid closed. Okay, but how can you see if it's working? Because we Googled it and it said it would whistle at us. That it would like make a shh sound. And it just never did. So we opened it. And then we were like watching it and it seemed to be working. And then it was fucking spraying everywhere. And then it's like too hot to touch. So yeah, anyways, we had to clean that up.
Stop it.
Another reason why I don't like gas stoves. Because there's fire everywhere. Anyways, next up, the mountains walk. Just me in the Italian mountains. Thank you, Ben, for filming this. Here's the view from our cabin when the sun was out. Like, crazy. Like, remote, middle of nowhere. You could have murdered me. No one would know. Beautiful. That was our daily walk as mountain goats down to the stadium. Then we went into the cute little Cortina town, which has some like designer, and there's like a whole like kind of luxury and kind of cute little section of town. So I saw this Dior lady with what I think is the longest glass nail file made of ice. I think that's what she's holding, right? I mean, I know there's a purse in one hand, and in her other hand, it kind of looks like a glass nail file. Yeah, there you go. But cute little town. Very different vibes than Milan. Some pizza. There's me and Ben sitting outside at a cute little bar. I had an Aperol Spritz. Ben enjoyed an espresso macchiato. Look at that sun. No filter. Crazy. You're closer to the sun when you're in the mountains. All right. Back to the games. Got my Go Team Canada uniform on. Prosecco and Holo Taco. Yes. At the stadium, the only alcohol they served was Corona beer or Prosecco. That's it. Which I was surprised because I'm like, this is literally Italy and you don't have like red wine. What's happening? I think it's probably like a sponsorship thing, but or they didn't have Aperol Spritz. And I was like, but they're so good. And we're in Italy. Anyways, so I drank a lot of Prosecco in the middle of the day, is what I'm trying to say. It was good, though. Did you buy tickets for the whole Olympics or for each event? For each event. The whole Olympics, that costs like $10,000. Probably more. Actually, probably way more. No, I only went to one women's hockey game in Milan. And I think it was 3 or 4. I'm kind of like, I am blurring some of the days here together. Maybe it was 3. 3 games, 3 curling games, 3 women's curling games in Cortina. I didn't go to any other sports. Wearing sacrificial lacquer, not Milky Way, just, you know, Holo Taco. Holo Taco at the Olympics. Unofficially. I just took it out of my pocket. I didn't paint my nails in the stand. I already had them painted, but, you know. Looking cute in our, we went to 4 curling. Okay, yeah. See, all the days blended into one. Mountain goating after the game. Oh, yeah. Then I painted an Italian curler's nails in Italy. Like, what? Hold on. I can't remember if there's audio here. Let me get his name correct because I don't remember how to pronounce it. Yeah. What's your favorite nail polish brand?
Holo Taco.
Okay, this was Mattia Giovanella Razor. I don't know. I'm not pronouncing that probably nicely. But he's an Italian curler. That's right.
That was great.
Okay, should I paint like maybe just the middle finger?
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
Do you guys do that here? You give the
No,
finger?
no.
No? So I asked him, right, like, do you guys do that here? Do you paint your nails? And he said no. Because initially he was just like, I was like, hey, can I paint your nails? He said no. And I was like, and then I showed him that Ben's nails were painted, another guy's nails we were with were painted, and like just painting 1 or 2 nails like wasn't a big deal. And I had red and it was Canada and like, who cares, right? I'm just trying to change the culture, like one Italian man at a time. So once I made it like not a big deal, I'm like, let me just paint your middle finger. Like, who cares? It'll be fun. He was like, okay, fine. But I do think it is interesting to see like culturally that it's something that at least the guys I know, and I know it's not true, you know, Canada or America wide. There are definitely men in North America who would say absolutely not and think it's homo to paint their nails. I get that too. But I think maybe it's like in some part in like sports in Europe, it seems like it's way more like no, like that's like it would be very strange. And I know that there's Canadian curlers who are guys who've let me paint their nails and like it was no big deal, no one cared, you know. It's just kind of funny, whatever. So I thought it was fun to, you know, one Italian man at a time. There we go. It's for everyone. Yeah. Well, I'm just breaking down barriers. I traveled to Italy to change the world, actually.
Cold?
Relax. Am I hurting you?
What does it feel like?
It looks like you bite your nails. Do you bite your nails?
Yeah, I do.
You gotta
I
stop
do.
doing that.
I am nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's all
There you go. Stunning. I hope he still has it on. I didn't tell him how to take it off.
Yeah.
All right, then I arm wrestled him.
yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, I feel it. You got a good grip.
All right, ready?
And now.
Daddy, does she have a
and
good
now
grip or what?
everything you wanna do is, like, pulling me
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
Don't
Are
I
we
know it.
starting?
You're good. Fine. Go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Keep curling that wrist. Curl that wrist. Don't let it go prone. Yeah. Keep elbow down. Into your body. Into your body.
Your body. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Put your head down. Head down.
It was hard.
Nice.
Ah, good job.
I said, did you just let me win? What do you think, chat? Did he let me win? That was actually harder than I thought. Well, of course it would be harder than duh. Am I dumb? Like, this is a a curler where like they're so strong because they go like this all fucking day. Yeah, he was very nice about it. Yeah, maybe he let me win, but like just a little bit. I tried my fucking hardest. I was like, I kind of want this guy to think I'm weak and then I'm gonna win. That's what I actually thought in my dumbass head. And then it was like way too hard. I was like, fuck, I'm a dumbass. I'm not gonna win. But for like a few seconds, I was like, yeah, let's go. And I like thought like I'm gonna get him. That was very dumb of me. He's like a fucking professional curler athlete. Anyways, I tried. Part 2. Mountain goat time. One of our nightly walks. This is what our walks looked like, whether it was during the day or night. There was just a lot of hills and a lot of walking up mountains. And oh, this is the one night we went to a fancy restaurant in Cortina, which was not as common. Like, there's more like chill bars and pubs and pizzas and stuff like that in like a mountain town like this. But there also happens to be one like Michelin star restaurant that, of course, Ben found. So we dressed up to go out to a fancy restaurant. Don't throw us off the ledge. There's Ben. Look at Ben all dressed up. And me. This was my friend's jacket. She got it because it was like red for Amazon. But I'm like, no, I need to wear it because it kind of matches my hair. Before my hair faded. Okay, whatever. But I kind of think I like look Italian like this, right? Like if you saw me, you'd be like, oh my God, that's an Italian lady. That's the Italian nail lady. And these are burgundy velvet pants. All right, we're walking up to the restaurant. And look at that. Michelin star. Isn't that crazy? In case you're not like a foodie, like I'm not a foodie either, but like that means the restaurant's very good and probably expensive, but it means that the chefs know what the fuck they're doing. So there happened to be a Michelin star restaurant like up the hill from the cabin we were staying, which is like super rare and like such a coincidence, because like why is it in the middle of nowhere? But Ben found it, so we went there. It was called Tivoli. I don't know why it says that there, but it's called Tivoli. Which red is your friend wearing here, please? She's literally a nail salon trader. Okay, that's not Holo Taco. It's nail salon. Shop holotaco.com instead. There's some of the gang at dinner at Tivoli. And here's some of the dishes that I do not recall, but stunning presentation. Look at this tower. It's like a tower of pasta with what was that? Like a tuna on top? There's a stack of spaghetti. Beautiful. Little flowers and shit. I'm getting hungry again? Honestly, me too. I need to have dinner. No, ugh, fuck, the dinner's here, man. Like, this was so exquisite. This is what I got, sea bass. Oh, just everything is so good. Like the fish and seafood. Like, yeah, we all know Italy's known for like pasta, whatever, but like everyone knows this. What I didn't know was like the seafood part of it. A lot of places we went had a way more populated selection of like catch of the day, shrimp and prawns, scallops, lobster, and all these different like types of fishes that are just like less common here, and they're really, really good. Like they were more flavorful. So I kind of loved that part of it because I really do like seafood and shrimp. So I tried to get fish or shrimp everywhere I went because I'm definitely more of a shrimp and seafood type person than like veal or steak. So Ben would try more of that type of stuff, but like I'll eat it. It's not that I don't eat red meat. I just like, I don't really care that much. So the seafood was such like a surprise because I didn't really know that seafood was like a huge thing and it's like a specialty and it just tastes better there. Well, I was very excited about that it wasn't just like only eat pasta, because I'm not really a big pasta person either. I did try it, of course, but it wasn't my main meal. Was it different fish than Canadian restaurants typically? Like we have like halibut and sea bass and cod, which is probably like the most basic fishies. And so did they, but it's not, I don't know if it was so much what the fish is, but just like how it's treated or how it tastes or seasoned. But it was just so much more like meatier and had a good taste to it, as opposed to sometimes here like it'll kind of taste fishy, which sounds counterintuitive, but I don't know. Maybe they just know what they're doing over there better. Yeah, get salmon in it. I had a salmon at some point. Good. It's probably fresher. It could be. Probably also depends on the season, but how is it prepared? I mean, I don't really know. I mean, just look at it beautifully. But very good. Tastes very real. And like was like chunky, like a good piece of it, you know? All right, so he ordered something that I can't remember what it was called, but it was just like a bunch of different pieces of meat on one plate. And then like the side dish that it came with was also just 3 different types of meat. So that's why I wrote so much meat. Again, this is another Lululemon Canada thing. I don't remember what this was. This was someone else's dish, but it just looked beautiful. This was a dessert, honeycomb dessert. Like, what is this? They made the honeycombs. I think it was meringue, and that was like a waffle, and it was like stamped with a honeycomb pattern. Beautiful. Don't listen to Shrimply. We have good seafood in Canada, at least on the coast. Well, yeah, but I don't live on the coast. I live in Ottawa. Nothing's good here except maple syrup. All right, cheers to the boys. Who I ordered them all old fashions.
Italians are known for old fashions.
No, it's video. There's the girlies. Okay, morning tea and Cortina time. This was my morning routine that I got used to, and then we had to leave. But it was kind of nice. I'd wake up first and make myself tea. Once I learned how to make coffee, I would like try and make it for other people. Clean the kitchen a little bit, sit, and then just look outside and catch up on my like Snapchats. That's what I was doing in the cabin by myself until everyone woke up. I'm definitely like the psychotic one when I'm traveling, where I'm just up first, taking pictures, waiting for everyone to wake up. But this is the view, like so beautiful. And the sun was so bright that like it wasn't even that cold for me to go out in my pajamas. Oh yeah, then we went to the top of the mountain in a gondola. And there was like a club. And it was like noon. This was at noon. I'm on top of a very big mountain. And there's like club music. Ben is dancing. We're all losing our mind. I think.
No, thank you. Thanks.
Uh-oh. What is it? We took the gondola up to the top of the mountain at noon, and the bartender gave us free shots, and there was like a club on the top of the mountain. It just like, I think the elevation made us lose our minds. Like, is that a thing too? When you go to higher elevation, you just like kind of like get loopy? Because we definitely were. And then there was Aperol spritzes, of course. Ben had some Prosecco. Look at his red nail. Italian mountain life. It's probably gonna get copyrighted, so I'll just pause it. But just having the time of my life on top of a mountain. Yeah, we have no oxygen. Holo taco at elevation 2. Found some Olympic nails. Look at her thumb. Very cool. She did the Olympic rings on her thumb. Tried to get some pizza at elevation, and even the tables were too high. Ben taking a selfie on top of the mountain. I wonder what happened to that. Did he do a post? I did a post. I don't know if he did. Anyways, we flew back down. No, just kidding. We took the gondola back down. Whee! Whee! I sped this one up. It didn't actually go that fast. There's no video or picture that could do justice to like how high and crazy you would be like if you fell. Like you would die immediately. Like this was risky. I like to do this, I thought. Anyways, we survived. Out here again for women's curling, they made it to the bronze medal game. And then they win. Yay! That's right, Team Canada, women's curling won the bronze medal, which is very exciting to get a place on the podium. And we also won against the US, who we were competing against for that 3rd place medal. So there they are, yay! And here we have Olympic bronze medal champions. Let's go, Team Canada. Yes, I took this picture. My phone's so good at like zooming in. Love that. I want to know how many Americans in chat cheered on Canada at the Olympics. Put a Canada flag in chat if you cheered on Canada. Now, I know statistically only 10% of you are from Canada because my YouTube analytics will tell me that. And the majority of you are in the States. So, how many of you cheered for Canada? Is it more than 10%? Aha, I see. Not the BB No Money girl. I hope when BB No Money wins an honor. What? What's an honor? After you do a collab with him, I will see you cheering him on. Okay. Definitely cheering against the US male hockey players. Yeah, I saw that in my algorithm now. My algorithm has turned into like Olympics drama too. All right, there's just more pictures of the game. Yay, Canada! Cortina crew. Let me just pause this, turn this on. So then we had a little after party with the women's curling girlies. Everyone in red. Any locals at this bar were probably like, what the fuck? What are you doing, Ben?
It's 8 o'clock. You gotta eat something. Get back on Canada time.
Oh. I don't need to eat it here.
No?
No. I'll come upstairs. But thank you.
You're only on, what, day 4?
I know, I gotta get through it quicker. Okay, I'm almost done.
Sure.
Yeah. Ben's looking out for me. Ben, that's not prawns. That's not Italian prawns. All right. So we had an after party for Team Canada women's curling team, and it was really cool to see a lot of their friends and family. Like, it's kind of crazy to think that we're literally in the middle of the mountains in Italy, but so many friends and family of these girls who competed and won the bronze medal in curling came all the way out from Canada, where they're all from, to Italy and figured out how to get to the fucking mountains to watch them compete and to celebrate and to support them. So that's what's insane. I mean, I know we also went for that reason. That was like the main reason why we went at that time to Italy. And then, yes, we added on like Milan and Venice after. We'll get there, I swear. But it was just so fun to see how many people support them so much that they're willing to travel to the other side of the world, basically. Some of them, like, I don't think I'd ever been there before, or knowing, you know, it's not cheap to go on an international flight to stay there for more than a week. So these girls have so much support from so many of their friends and families, and there was like a whole group of like 40 or 50 of us, I don't know, I didn't count, who were in that room on that day when they won the bronze medal. So they're very well loved, and it's an honor to be, I guess, a part of that group. So very, very cool. and a lot of them let me paint their nails. So that was fun. I always carry the bottle of red on me, so I was painting, like, I think it was sacrificial lacquer that randomly I'm like, oh, you want your pinky painted? And everyone was getting their nails painted, so there you go. Let's go. Yes. Beautiful. Love finding hollow taco nails in the crowd too. Did they get glossy taco too? Unfortunately, no, I forgot to bring it. So I was just painting on sacrificial lacquer and whatever, hoping for the best. This is Rochelle, who's also on the team. She's the alternate. And sometimes people think we're sisters. So occasionally, like, people will be like, oh, you're Rochelle's sister. You must be. And I'm just like, no. So I think people think we look alike. But that's kind of funny. There's just tons of pictures, people being very excited, very happy, very red. Just sandwiched between two Olympic medalists, no big deal. Me, you know, I'm not really, like, personally a sports girl. I cannot play sports. I would lose. You don't want me on your team, whatever sport it is. I'm not good at it. Especially, I'm just like, no, not doing it. Tracy works at the same university as me. Really? We were so hyped when they won bronze. That's amazing. Also, I was pretty excited when I learned Holo Taco is a sponsor of theirs. Yeah. A lot of people are like, oh my God, what? Didn't know the connection. And it's very cool to hear some people's stories. There's a girl I met later who went to the curling, to the bronze medal, or no, sorry, she went to the medal ceremony, and she said, oh my God, Simplytravelogical. And then she shows me her nails, and she's literally wearing, like, the Team Homan bundle from Holo Taco, like, all 5 of her nails. So that was, like, such a very specific overlap that it's just crazy to think exists. And then I met her. All right, then we went to a club. I think this club was called Club Bilbo. I don't know, it's probably pronounced differently, but it was very red in there. I don't think that was done intentionally for Team Canada, but I appreciated it. It's so cool how involved you have gotten into curling and supporting Team Homan since sponsoring them with Holo Taco. Glad you had a great time. It has been really fun. What's an SDS sheet? I don't know what you're asking. I've asked you to hand over an SDS sheet and you refused. I did. I don't know. This is like a shipping question. Ask customer service. What? That's not my department. Am I Italian yet? I took a lot of pictures in Italian bathrooms. Here's another one in the club. Just clubbing with another Olympic medalist. This is Sven Michel, I believe. Another curler. Shrimply in the club. This music was way more not, so this is what I found interesting. Milan was playing, or the one club I went to, my sample size of 1. Milan played very millennial English music. The one club we went to in Cortina had no English music, but it was very like singular beat, very instrumental, and sounded a little more like what I would expect from a European club, but it was kind of the same thing over and over again. So some of my, like, English-speaking Canadian friends were a little like, I don't know how you can dance to this for 2 hours. I still had a good time. I thought it was fun, but it was definitely different than the vibe in Milan, for sure. As a tall person, I do not like that ceiling height. It was very low. You're not wrong. Last morning tea in Cortina. I think it's like house music. Yeah, exactly. Okay, here's my injury. Can't leave this mountain trip without an injury. And yeah, my whole, like this front part of my palm, or you can still kind of see it. It was bruised because I fell on it trying to climb a mountain. It did hurt, but I'm okay. I don't think this is very kind. She don't care, so bye. Holo Taco customer service is poop emoji. Well, this chat is not customer service, but if you have an issue, please contact them directly. I don't know. But you're asking about like a shipping thing that isn't something I would address in chat. But we respect our customer service agents. So I appreciate you also respecting them even when they're not here. This is not where they operate. Mountain goat walking time. Sorry, I'll change the music. I don't know. This is a random Italian playlist. Me eating pizza at Pizza al Taglio. Pizza Pit Stop. There you go. Holo Taco on an iPad. iPad kids, not so bad, huh? Oh, sorry, let me mute that. So this was the Olympic medal ceremony for women's curling where they award the medals. So we know our girls got bronze. So we showed up to watch the medal ceremony. This was the day after. That's not the music they were playing. This is just what I'm playing because they're playing copyright music. But they built this whole podium within like 10 minutes. They had to like whip it out. And then they had the 3 flags of the countries who won, which is very cool. And yeah, there they are with their medals. And yes, they get to keep them. Very fun. And then look, she's like she's taking a selfie with, from my view, you think, cause like I'm zoomed in on them. I think she's just taking a selfie of her team, right? But then I realize, I zoom out, and she had everyone get in the picture with her. Like, isn't that just so nice, right? Yeah, so all 3 teams who placed first, second, and third, Rachel Homan was there taking a selfie and said, hey, everyone get in the picture. So I just thought that's so cute. I don't know if I've seen that picture yet. Maybe, there's just been like 8 million pictures related to this, so maybe I just missed it. But I just think that's so fun. There's like a kindness in this sport. You know, it's not like the men's hockey. Fuck. Yeah, just great sportsmanship all around. I thought anyways, from my experience. Obviously, I don't know you know, all the inner workings of everything. But I just thought like that was such a good moment as an audience spectator to witness. I was like, oh fuck, that's fucking sick. And it made me like more proud to be like, that's actually my team. So, and she loves everyone. So that was a good one. Yeah. They got their bronze medals. Let's go. Very excited for them. It is kind of good. Yeah, I think that's what it is too, to like see countries coming together in a world that has been kind of increasingly divided depending on your country. Wonder who did that. So it's kind of nice and refreshing to see the opposite of that, if that makes sense. Found a Holo Taco and a Team Homan fan wearing their bundle that we sell on Holo Taco. Like, that's crazy. Like, you know how specific of a niche you need to be in to be like this, crossing over? So, yeah, she found me in the stands and she was literally wearing the Team Homan bundle. Trip out to our final Italian destination. Okay, we're almost done, I swear, because then Ben wants me to eat dinner, apparently. Ready? Oh my god, we're taking a water taxi because we're in Venice. Simply on a water taxi in Venice. So we traveled from Cortina, which was in the mountains. We took another two hour car ride to Venice, but we couldn't get to our hotel by car because Venice is on fucking water canals, which I've obviously never been to before. But Ben had arranged a water taxi to take us to the hotel. Now, he wasn't there that night because he actually went back to Milan to see the gold medal men's hockey game. So, and no, I didn't go with him. He wanted to go on his own, and also tickets were crazy and hard to get, so he was determined to go. So that's where he went that night. But this is us at night, like, I swear we were giggling like so hard. It was only a 7-minute water taxi or something, and I never wanted it to end. Just like so fun to ride in a fucking boat to your hotel because the hotels are like on the water. Did I pee in the lake? No, I didn't pee in the lake. Anyways, where is Ben? People were like, what happened to Ben? Where'd he go? Did he die on the mountains? He had gone back to Milan for the men's gold medal hockey game. There he is, taking a selfie there. This was like at night. And it was such a good picture. It's also my iPhone 17. It's pretty good. Venice, Italy. Crazy. So we got there at night, so it wasn't like we didn't really see everything yet until the next day. Espresso martini time, of course. Again, this one was absolutely delicious. Cheers. We went to dinner at a cute little restaurant where the charcuterie was absolutely unreal. Look at this. Like, the cheese is standing up. Amazing. The architecture of the cheese on the plate. Polenta with mushrooms. It was like kind of crusted over cheese in like a good like way. I got Italian prawns. We're in Italy. Shrimply prawns. Like the shrimp here is fucking unhinged. Also something I didn't really know, but the shrimp. You order shrimp or prawns. Sometimes they're like fully put together. Like they have faces. These ones were like kind of cut open already. But yes, I'm eating my family. I know. I was like, oh my god, I'm shook. Phone eats first. Okay, this was like a mushroom ravioli, I'm pretty sure she got. This was grilled vegetables. Salad. He also was eating my family on pasta. And I think she had a tuna tartare. So red wine and dinner time. Asked the guy for a recommendation for red wine. And then we asked, what should we get? You know, like we're Canadian. What kind of after dinner drink would you recommend? And so he had us try grappa. But like he said it was like a nice grappa. Like it wasn't like bad grappa. Because we were like, oh, I don't know. It's like, it's pretty strong. So he was explaining it to us about like the region and where it came from and how it's like a tradition to have almost like a little shot glass that you sip on of grappa, and this was like a nice one. See, it says grappa amarone and had like a darker color as opposed to it being clear. And I kind of think, okay, as someone who's like never had this before, I thought of it as kind of how people think of tequila. Like there's some tequilas that are different in color, right? And they have a different taste, or they're meant for different things. Like one you want to mix, one maybe you don't. There's really cheap types of tequila, but then there's really nice, smooth types of tequila. And it can really vary. So they're not all the same. And so I think that's what he was basically trying to explain. Like there's some grappas that are just dry and plain, but you have like a whole bodied grappa. He's like, this one has like cocoa notes, and it's just like can vary. Grappa is intense. It is. It was very strong. It's like a very strong liqueur. I think the closest thing it kind of tasted like to me was like a whiskey. That would probably sound like an insult to someone who's like, no, it doesn't. But like, as someone, if I'm trying to draw like a parallel, I think like whiskey is probably the closest. Grappa is a fragrant Italian pomace brandy made by distilling the leftover grape skins, seeds, and stems from winemaking, resulting in a strong spirit, 35 to 60%. Wow. Often enjoyed as an after-dinner digestif or in coffee. Yes. So very strong. It tastes very alcoholic. Yeah. Like a whiskey, like how I think of whiskey, like which I normally isn't something I would choose to sip. Like I'd probably rather sip like an amaretto or something with like a 20% liqueur. Cheers. Drinking tea from the, oh, this was the next morning. Drinking tea from the tiniest cup, and that wasn't even the tiniest cup. Like there was no big teacups. Like this size just literally does not exist. They don't know a mug this size in Italy. All the cups are so small because it's for espresso. You know, it's not a tea country. All right. One other thing I noticed was in Venice, there's so many parts along the water that don't have railings. Like, how do you not fall in? Like, you could literally just walk up the stairs and fall in the water. I'm like, what if I trip? Aperol spritzes everywhere. I really liked Venice for it being like a rat maze. There's so many corridors and passageways you can just walk in. You could accidentally walk in the water. You turn around and there's like gondolas and water taxis. And I kind of, maybe I'm just like a hamster, but I really enjoyed the maze aspect. There's like little bridges it kind of feels like you're in a video game. That's the best way I can explain it. I felt like I was in a video game just walking around in Venice. It was so fun. I'm doing a perimeter sweep. Okay, gaming chat. Doing a perimeter sweep of Venice is like the most fun you could have. Like you go down this alleyway and then you gotta go down another one. Don't fall in the water. You could literally walk right into the water. Cry me a river. How funny is that? There's 8 million rivers. They have a ton of these like art shops with masks. That kind of looks like the drama mask. Very cool. They also had a lot of ducks, which I was like, what is the obsession with ducks? Is it because ducks go on water? I don't know. Someone explain this to me. Glass, we know this because Italian blown glass, top quality. Of course, some historical buildings. Simply cannot tell you about them, but this is a famous one. In the main square. The canal, beautiful. Holo Taco in Venice, just chilling. Simply flipping my hair in front of a historical building. More Venice streets, very narrow alleyways. Like, look, I'm 5'4", so you know this is a really narrow alleyway. Like, you could not hold hands with someone and walk down this alleyway. Like, my knees are bent. That's crazy. Like, what? Not all of them were this narrow, but we walked by this one and I'm like, that is the narrowest alley I've seen in my life. Like, it's like a hallway. Yeah. More masks. A tea time store. A tea room. But I got an espresso martini. I will say, okay, I made it a rule. I have to get one everywhere we go. Just to know, you know. At this tourist trap tea room, it was actually the worst espresso martini I had on the whole trip. But I guess that makes sense because it's a tea room. And the tea was just kind of basic. I think they just don't really care about tea. Like, is that what it is? Like, they're just so good at coffee that they just like say fuck tea. Yeah. Which, whatever. It's fine. You can't do both extremely well. But the aesthetics of this place was gorgeous. Like, look at this. This is where we were having tea. Beautiful. Everything was so ornate. There was like multiple different rooms. Some Dior shops. Take me to church. We went inside a church. Crazy that I didn't just burst into flames. I think that's the outside. Some gondolas, which we didn't take because I felt like we didn't really need to after taking the water taxi. Like, I kind of get it. Gorgeous shoes that had like diamonds going up them. I was just like, wow, I don't want to know the price. But just like, how unique are these? Just so pretty. I could not walk in them, so no point in me trying them on. POV, you're obviously a tourist in Venice. Also, like, the jacket I was wearing was very Cortina mountain coated, but like American at the same time because it's from Aloe. But like, no one was dressed how I was dressed. Like, little snow bunny gear. And then I also had a bright red shirt that I kept wearing over and over. I obviously wasn't from there. It's literally a maze out here, and we're just some rat tourists. Like, everywhere you go, it's like, do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I go this way? Should I jump in the water? Should I jump in that person's boat? And then we had lunch, Aperol spritzes on the water, which was lovely. And it wasn't that warm. Like, it was milder than Cortina. There was no snow. But it was still like 10 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is off the top of my head in Fahrenheit. But like, it's a mild winter. And Ben's just wearing his t-shirt like the Canadian he is. You would love summer in Venice? Oh, I'm sure I would. I think if it was like summer outside, oh, it would be absolutely beautiful, like with more sun out. Yeah, it was a little foggy there. We did get some sun, but it was foggy. But we dined on the canal. But it was kind of interesting that, see how there's like no one else there? Because it's not tourist season. The only reason it was busy in Milan and then Cortina was because of the Olympics. But Venice is 2 hours away from at least Cortina. So it wasn't that busy, and it's not really tourist season. So it was pretty good to like walk around and do things because like it was not busy for that reason. I'm assuming it's much busier when it's like nice out. But this is nice for us, Canadians. Ben got a pizza called the Diablo, and it had an egg in the middle. He didn't want that part, so he cut it out and gave it to me. Guess what? I got more shrimp. They're big ass shrimp. Simplytravelogical. Laundry was hanging everywhere. Just a very different experience than where I am. This was like a modern bridge that I swear was like shaking. Oh, and then I met a Simply fan in a limoncello shop, which is crazy. So we walked into a store that had like a bunch of limoncello and like yellow liqueurs. I'm like, oh, this looks so pretty. Let's go in here. And then she was like, Simplytravelogical? And I was like, yes. And then she gave us free samples of, I think I tried limoncello, tiramisu liqueur, and like a salted caramel one, and they were all so delicious. I came home with like some mini bottles of them, mostly because I just didn't want to look at this tiramisu like liqueur. It's so good. Very like a light level of alcohol, more like a sugary drink, but or you could like pour it on ice cream or something. Oh, amazing. So good. Cheers. But yeah, we had such a good time test tasting this. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. She was explaining some of it to us, and yeah, so I came home with some mini bottles. I wish that it wasn't like as complicated. Otherwise, I would have bought full-size bottles of like literally everything, so I wouldn't be worried about you know, like going through it too quickly. But just when you're traveling and packing luggage, like the last thing you want is like a huge bottle to break. So I strategically got a bunch of mini bottles and like packed them up. Anyways, found a Simply fan in a limoncello shop in Venice, Italy. Like, what a big small world we live in. Like, crazy. And she had beautiful nails. She did her own like gel, like a builder gel pattern. She had like 3D nails on, which was so crazy. So clearly very talented, and that was just so fun. Did she get a bottle of nail polish? Yes, I gave her one of the HOLO tacos that I had on me. I always carried like at least 2 on me whenever I went out in Italy. Chocolate waterfall mountain. This stream has given me such a limoncello craving. Here you go. Here's one of the mini bottles I brought back. All right. Last event. Bought this top in Milan. So this is also something I bought from Desigual, which is that like not actually that expensive designer store. I forget what this was. It was like 50 euros or something. But I thought it kind of matched my hair. See how it like kind of blends into different colors of auburn? It looks like it is my hair. So I was like, it's literally a continuation of my hair. So anyways, I thought it looked very Italian. So I'm like, that's me. So cheers to our last dinner. We had some scallops for appetizers. And then I had, I'm pretty sure this was a branzino fillet, where they fillet it in front of you, which is cool, I guess. So next morning, 7 a.m. in Venice, taking the water taxi to the fucking airport. Like, I'm on a boat that went straight to the airport. It was a 20-minute little boat ride just across the canal. Or the lake, I guess, when it got bigger. Went through a couple canals to depart the hotel. And then we like took a fucking boat to the airport. Like, what a life. The airport in Venice has like a marina where you basically dock your boats. Like, what is this? And then the airport's like right there. These are all boats docking to the airport terminal. What a life. It will never, like, that was probably one of just the most fun parts of the trip, was literally just taking a water taxi. Like, every time, the 2 times I was on it, I was like giggling. I'm like, like I've never been on a boat in my life. I had a cottage. I've been on boats. It's not the boat factor. It's just that there was so many canals, and like you can just take a boat to the airport. Like, that's not a thing where I live, right? And most of you either, probably. I felt like a little child on like a roller coaster. Yeah, very water city life. Very cool. Time for the journey home. Ciao, Italy was a good time. So that's taking off in Venice. It was very foggy, so you couldn't really see too much. But look at all those little canals. And then we shortly, like, you could really easily see the mountains. I don't know if that was actually Cortina, but from the plane within takeoff, within the first 10 minutes, like, you could see the mountains, where we became mountain goats. Just peeing out the tea in the airplane. Next stop was actually Switzerland, just because we had a layover in, where did we land? I can't remember. Somewhere in Switzerland. And then I flew back over the ocean for the second time in my life, because the first time was how I got there in the first place. Wild Child plus Polar Princess plus Sweetheart Taco is so good. That is a good combo. Yeah. Yeah, crazy. Never done this before. And that's it. Or at least that's all the snaps that they let me put in this, because there's a max. But then we flew back to Montreal and then drove from Montreal back to Ottawa, which is about 2 hours. So it's a full travel day, and then probably more like a day and a half, maybe 2 days if you count the time change and I guess the jet lag. Like, what time is it in Italy right now? It's almost 3 a.m. And that's the time zone I've been living in for like the last 10 days. So I guess I'm tired? I don't know. I found it pretty easy to adjust to the time zones when I first landed. Like, when we first got not when I first landed, but just we were so excited that we just did so much all day. And then I just like only slept when it was like actually night. And then I was just so tired that it kind of made sense again. And then I was up at like 8 a.m. on the new time zone. So I think I like adjusted pretty quickly. And then I'm more tired now, but I think it's not really because of the time zone thing. It's just because it's exhausting vacationing or traveling and all the things we did in 9 days. Like that was 9 days, counting 2 full days of travel. So it was really only like 7 days. And we did like 2 full days in Milan, back-to-back activities, nightclubs, dinners, traveling to the mountains, having to take 2-hour trains, 2-hour car rides, just walking around like mountain goats. I probably walked 20,000 steps every day when we were in the mountains. So very tiring, but very fun. And I'm someone who definitely likes to do a lot when we travel. Like, I don't want to sit there and do nothing. That's why I'm the person who's just up, bored first, because I'm like, what are we doing? Where are we going? When are we leaving to go do something? So definitely made the most of my time there, regardless of the time zone. But I think I am tired, so maybe I should go eat dinner and pass out because it's 3 a.m. on the time zone I've been living in. Anyone watching this from that time zone right now, it's crazy. And I'm glad that chat finally works. I apologize for the first 2 hours. That was so painful. Come on, YouTube, get your shit together. What time zone are you living in? All right, I'm gonna go have some mediocre dinner because honestly, nothing compares to the meals, to the espresso martinis that I had in Italy, and just all the good times and all the vibes. Yeah, it was great. I would go back. I probably don't need to like see some things more than twice personally, but I would like explore other things. I wouldn't mind going back to Venice either because I just loved walking around like the rat maze. Like there's just something kind of satisfying about doing a perimeter sweep there. I don't know what it is. I was just like giggling. Your dinner's cold. Well, That's what I use the microwave for. Like how it got heated in the first place was probably the microwave. Yeah, I'm such a North American, I know. My current HT combo, Bury Me in Hollow topped with Unicorn #1, Scattered Hollow Taco, and Garden Party Taco. I love that. All right, thank you to the wonderful mods. Thank you to the Menchie Gang. Thank you to everyone, and shouts out to everyone who supports Team Canada at the Olympics. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening and week. I will see you on Saturday's stream, TBD. I don't know. Let me sleep on it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye. Ciao.